This conference will now be recorded.
No problem, no problem. Well, we can uptick it. Keep it cool till the body comes in.
Let's, well, I think that you hit Arctic. Do you not have to register? They will, call, they will, is it on something that is on the agenda or just general? Okay, so.
All right, TV.
So, right here at the very beginning, it's a general public comment, you can get that in. If it's something that they're gonna be discussing on the action agenda, they'll also have public comment on it. You're welcome. Oh. Okay. That's fine. Did you guys ever take that meeting? Yeah. Oh, so you both been up here? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, very nice.
And we can even go as far as filing.
And for those
Filing some sort of agreement with the
Sure.
court saying tax collectors.
Those reasons.
Tax collector.
Tax collector, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
Okay. So it's
yeah, but we're not there yet, because now we're
Right.
it's motion to dismiss, so.
Well, sure.
So we're still, once we get past this.
Yeah.
You know, Richard said, you know, I have assurances.
yes.
Whether that's changed or not, he doesn't know.
No, I got you.
Okay.
And she's worst case in the numbers.
Well, there you go.
If we're approving it. So
Next question.
it's a valid question. So I
Yeah,
don't mind.
absolutely.
We'll have the answer. I just want to
And
make sure
if
we're
we
here.
lose, then yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we know the total right now. We have totality, what they say. Lose. I guess the true question is, what's that clock ticking every day for the next $1,000 a day?
And it's-
For them to understand that.
What's the interest rate that's best?
Now, see, it's different. It's 0 to 18, depending on the certificate sold.
Oh.
So it could be all over the
Yeah,
place.
okay.
So there's no fees for us for late or anything, fines. It's only on certificates,
Yeah.
which they try their best after
Yeah,
they start selling certificates to generate money.
Mhm. Okay.
So yeah, it's not that crazy. All right, no, that's good.
And then as far as it's on my thing, the business registry.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, maybe, because I think this would be-
Yeah, I was like, okay, good. I thought I was gonna.
You know, regulate them with respect to.
Sure.
And use of facilities and things like that.
Yep.
It would be more of a bubble.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's not like
Oh,
you-
no, you're right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be, and the question that came up, do you want this to be home businesses too?
Should be everything.
Oh, home businesses as
Yeah,
well.
and that's more concerning because they're the ones violating. That's yeah, it could be. We do have about 15 registered home businesses that cause issues. Putting up legal signs. A lot of code violations.
Touching.
Do you mind starting?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning all. We've invited Pastor George Hall from the Avon Park Lakes Baptist Church to say a moment of prayer for us.
Being a person of faith and hopefully a person of unity. I know that in this room we probably have many different people of many different backgrounds. And so today I'd just like to let you know what I'm going to pray for so that we can be in agreement on that. I'm going to pray for you people who lead us in this community because the Bible instructs us to do that. I'm going to pray for all the people who lead us, from our president right down to our local elected officials. And then I'm going to pray a prayer of peace. And I've been in enough meetings that sometimes we leave and we think we need a good dose of peace. And so it's quite comical. I'll leave you with this and then I'll pray. I told my wife that where I was going to be at 9 o'clock today. I said, I'm going to pray at Sun and Lake. And she said, what are you doing after that? And I said, well, at 9:30, I'm going to read Brown Bear to a bunch of preschoolers.
Yeah.
And she said, I hope you can tell the difference between those two. And so we'll see. Let's pray together. Father God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for this great opportunity to invoke your name in the presence of these witnesses. And God, I pray today. I pray for our nation. I pray for those who defend and protect us today. Lord, as your word tells us to pray for those who rule over us. And Lord, I pray for our president. I pray for all of our elected officials, our governor, and these in this room who have sought to serve this community through an elected position. God, I do pray for peace. Lord, I pray for the protection of our community. I pray for those from the top to the bottom, Lord, that we would see all of them as you see us. And Lord, in accordance with your word in the book of Ephesians, for this reason I bow my knees before the Father, for whom every family in heaven and on earth is named, that according to the riches of his glory, he may grant you to be strengthened with power through the Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. Now to him who is able to do far more abundant than all we ask or think, according to the power at work within us, to him be the glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you. Now for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Am I being heard?
Yes, sir. You're good.
Okay. Announcements. The next regular meeting of the board will take place on Tuesday, April 7th at 5:30 p.m. here at the community center. Please silence or turn off your cell phones. Key upcoming events: March 28th, the Easter egg roll. April 3rd, Good Friday, the offices are closed. April 21st, strategic planning meeting and board supervisor budget guidance meeting. Now the time for public comment. For general comments, they will be limited to 3 minutes and may or may not be answered by a supervisor or staff member at this time. However, all comments will be captured for the record, and the general manager will address your issue concerns after the meeting within 72 hours. Any public comments? Morning.
Morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Laura Wendell, and I have a letter to read, which will explain why I'm up here. To the SNL Board of Supervisors. My husband and I have been property owners in the Sun and Lake community since 2015. We are pleased with the pool and surrounding area expansion efforts. The goal, of course, is to make this beautiful space more productive and accessible to our residents. In this process, an evaluation of the needs of everyone must be weighed carefully. Unfortunately, our winter months, December through February, have been challenging for outdoor pool activities. Since consistency in any physical program like water aerobics and water yoga is so essential, timing is of the utmost consideration. It has been suggested by administration that the pools be opened at 7 or 8 o'clock a.m. It was recommended that the water classes be offered then instead of our normal time of 9 a.m. Officially or unofficially, we don't have class until the outside temperature is around 60 degrees. Looking at the past December through February, temperatures at 7 or 8 a.m., we would have class less than 1/3 of the time offered. In layman's terms, out of the 20 days per month, the class could only meet for 8 sessions at the most. Putting this into terms of money, the students who normally buy pool memberships won't pay this fee anymore. Solution: we can have the lap pool open at 7 or 8 for people to come and do laps, enjoy coffee, rolls, and conversation. This will leave the lagoon, I can't say talk today, lagoon pool for the aerobics yoga classes to meet at 9, and then the sunbathing social people come in at 10. In this way, the pools are being used and enjoyed by all. Another option, of course, in the summer would be earlier times for both pools in some manner, since the pools are warm then. Gail Metalunia have issued her resignation since she believes her students will not have adequate aerobic yoga classes in the winter. Gail has been the most knowledgeable and helpful teacher we have ever had. My hope is that the board reconsiders their stance on opening hours so that an SNL pools can continue to be successful in our community. Sincerely, Laura K. Wendell. And in my 43 seconds left, I like to say one more thing. I think it's kind of like if someone all of a sudden said to us, okay, I can only have my golf, my tee time at 6 p.m. Be great in the summertime. Sun's gone a little bit cooler. I'm out there, go from 9 hole or so for 6 to 8:30. I come in, have a drink, and I'm good. And then all of a sudden, it gets to be winter time. Here I go out at 6 o'clock, and it's dark. In other words, winter, we have to reconsider two things, don't we? And I know as a board you'll do this. The idea of coolness and the idea of course, the timing. It's so important. And I thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Hi, Dan Dills, resident for 10 years. I just have two issues. And first of all, I live on 3801 Cantoria, and they did the swell cleaning back in the rear of our properties. And I want to thank Mike. He came out to my house a couple times, and they got that taken care of. And Boz also helped me. I talked to him a couple times. The only other issue I have with that is it looks great now, but is there going to be anything addressed about the actual flow of the water? Because right now it's still uneven. If it rains hard, I'm going to have the same issue that I've had in the past about the water, the neighbor's ditch being higher than mine. So when the water goes to a certain level, that inches stays in mine. So I just wanted to know if there's a future project in the near future that's going to address some of that flow issue. The other issue is I've been a member of the golf course for 10 years since I came from Pennsylvania. And unfortunately, I had lymphoma this summer, which for me got cleared up. So I did not play golf much from June to November. And the condition of Deer Run, and I know everybody probably has the same problem with it. What happened? I mean, we've paid all that money for these greens, and is anybody held responsible? And I have gone to the trouble of I played Golf Hammock recently. I played Pinecrest and Sebring Country Club recently. After the freeze, their greens were perfect. And our greens grew in good I was up here 2 years ago and commented about the greens were so bad then, and I was all for the greens project. But what happened? How in the world did we let them go from grown in perfect to the condition they are now? And I was embarrassed to bring my friend from Pennsylvania out to the golf course, and he used to love coming here to play deer. So if we're going to put new greens in on Turtle, are we going to go through the same process, the same people? I mean, somebody has to be held responsible. In my case, 500 or 550,000, whatever the number is, you guys know that. It doesn't seem like anybody is responsible for that, and it can't be the weather. Other courses are not having this problem. So I mean, I just want some kind of explanation. We do this again, is the same thing going to happen? But that's all I have to say. And I don't want to play golf somewhere else, but you're almost forcing the issue with the members. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. But I thank you for your effort. And like I said, the swell cleaning, you guys have done a great job on that so far. If we just follow up with the flow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Scott Wyatt. Just since it was brought up, I'd just like to go on the record and say to change the greens on Turtle would be a huge mistake based on what we've been experiencing on Deer Run. I hope you'll really be serious about that. We don't want to throw good money after bad.
Any other public comment?
Hi, I'm Rhonda. I just, every meeting,
Can
everything
you
is
pull the
about,
microphone down, please, sir? Thank you.
every meeting is about the golf course, the greens, the everything. Nothing about anything else in the community seems to be discussed except for the behind Woods and Iron, this community side. If you go up to the front to Ponce de Leon, if you're going towards 27 and take the first right, they are underwater half of the year. Why isn't anything being addressed there? Why isn't anything done to make the entrance up there when you come in and you see that first road and you're thinking, what the heck? But no, we have to spend more time on the golf course and the greens. There's other people in this community. There are other problems that need to be addressed, especially the drainage issues in the front part of Sun and Lakes up there at the first circle on the right-hand side. They are in pitiful shape. I know because my son lives up there, and that whole area really needs some attention. It doesn't just all matter back here by the clubhouse and by the district office. There, I've been told there's over 13,000 residents. Well, we seem to be only addressing just a small percentage of the problems. The other people may not be able to be here because as we had at, before we elected the new board member, there were quite a few younger generation that were here. And they were very vocal about not knowing anything and about not being able to attend meetings because they work and they have to be at work, leaving at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. As I know my son does, he couldn't attend anything, and he certainly couldn't do any event from 4 to 6 in the evening. So I think we need to reconsider about everything that's discussed and start looking at, to make another generation, another part of Sun and Lakes as pretty as this looks. This seems to get all the attention. Nobody goes up to the front, and you all have to drive past it to get in and out of here. So I think there needs to be more concentrated effort to take care of the water issues, the drainage issues. They're constantly underwater. They can't even grow the grass over there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is TJ with PWR. I'm happy to be here. Just wanted to reintroduce ourselves to the community. We are the refuse company who's put in the bid for your solid waste, your refuse removal, your bulk, and your yard waste for your homes. Definitely looking forward for the board to move forward with our bid, hopefully, if we are granted the opportunity, to give the community a little bit more control over their refuse removal, and to have a company who's going to be on site Monday through Friday instead of just once per week. We know this is a very large decision, and we know you don't take this lightly. I'd also like to introduce Ken. He's my Vice President of Logistics. He'll be managing all of our trucks that would be on the road or all of our hauling towable vehicles, compactors, things of that nature. So we just want to make sure that we know that you guys know that we're here. We're definitely going to be on site, present every day, Monday through Friday. That way you don't have to worry about, I've missed this or something was not collected. Giving the community a little bit more power over what's able to be done and how quickly it can be, any situations can be rectified and corrected. We know that there is a huge issue with disposal costs and everything going through the roof for not only Polk County, Highlands County, and all the surrounding counties in this area. Being a smaller company, it allows us to be able to run our business a little more effectively without all the massive overhead that these larger companies do have. We're not prisoners to Wall Street. We are a hardworking local company, and we definitely want to be on site for you, basically as your own service, one-stop shop, everything under one roof. So like I said, just wanted to take a moment to reintroduce ourselves and looking forward to when we can actually sit down and get your equipment ordered, because it will be Sun and Lake equipment only. So that is something that is going to be different from us, that we would be different from every other company. Ken, if you'd like to say anything?
Oh, yeah, just the logistics of everything is going to be, it's going to be a huge opportunity for us, and equipment is going to be brand new. So once we get the ball rolling, we can get equipment ordered, and, you know, it would be just awesome to be able to get going with you guys.
Again, you know, like I said, this is specific equipment that we're looking at for your community that is going to be specific to what the needs are here. Not massive, large trucks. We're going to be worrying about your roads, worrying about all that, less wear and tear. So all in all, overall, we're definitely looking at the community as a whole to make sure that we hit every mark that we can and address every issue that you guys may have.
I have a question or two,
Sure.
if I could. Are you going to be providing new receptacles?
So we can do that in one of two ways. We can do it to where we build it into the cost to where we can provide those, or it can be purchased as a one-time through your HOA. That's entirely up to you. Or it can also be looked at if you want to look at purchasing them or making an option to buy out what you currently have, and then we can provide those as they go along for replenishment.
Our yearly subscription as far as getting the refuse picked up will not include a container then, is what you're saying. We have to purchase that outright?
There can be an outright purchase or one that will include that. There are two different options for that. Yes, sir.
All right. And what happens with the current refuse containers that we have? Do you pick those up and
They
turn them into the
because they're
county?
not owned by us, we would not pick those up. The county would either pick those up, or whoever's collecting currently, the company would have to schedule to pick those up on their own.
Okay. And are these new refuse trucks that you're providing?
So what we are providing is brand new. There's nothing that's going to be used. We know that we also looked at the options. We also looked at certain aspects of weight to roads. We specialize in more of like smaller communities. So we do look at that load ratio as far as the capacity, as far as weight's concerned. So what we do is we have large trailers that are compaction and automated. So it keeps a lot of the weight. Instead of it being 20 tons on the road, it'll probably be somewhere between 12 and 15. So it's going to be a lot less based on that. So it puts a lot less wear and tear on the road as they're coming through on a daily operational basis.
Okay. And as far as loading the equipment, is it automated or is it something that's done by?
It is semi-automated. So it is automated. There is a helper that will put it to that and just push the button and it automates it. There's no hand lifting. It's just a matter of moving the container to the automated portion.
Okay.
Like I said, we have our companies designed for communities like this and for 55 and older communities. In general, like I said, the particular aspect of the containers and the trailers, they're a lot less wear and tear on the roads. They're very convenient. They're all automated, and there's a lot less. We don't have, instead of hand pickup like a lot of companies were still doing, there's not a lot of we'll call it danger to somebody who's throwing stuff into from a container into a truck. It is automated, but cameras are around all of the trucks, so they're very safe.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Don't leave.
Oh, sorry.
More questions.
Sure.
So how long y'all been in business?
We've been in business for about 2.5, 3 years at this point. This would be a very large jumping point for us as far as your community is concerned. We do have smaller communities that we service that I provided references to. But I'll be completely honest with you, this would help our company grow, and it would be a good jumping off point for us as far as that's concerned.
So, Bud, you have references? They
Yes, sir.
provided. Okay,
That came with the RFP, yes, sir.
gotcha. This is be a big change for us.
Understood.
It might be hard to go back. So if we would do this, we'd have to have 100% confidence you can handle this.
Mhm.
And from what
Yes,
you
sir.
just said, I'm not sure I have that at this moment.
I
We're-
assure you,
yeah.
there's no 1 foot in, it's all in. And I assure you, you can put your confidence in us, and we're here to do the job.
and support the community.
Any other questions from the board at this time?
We'll talk more about the specifics at the end, and if you guys hang around, great. If you have to leave, yeah.
We can hang around if you want, 100%.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is a motion to approve, I'm
One
sorry,
more.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I am Steve Seward, 3701 Edgewater, and approximately 1980, a Canadian group built this as a golf community. And there were condos built, and it's wonderful that this community has been filled in with many other people with many other concerns. When driving up from Indiana on 27, I noticed the signage said a golf and recreation community. And whoever was responsible for that, I want to thank them dearly. The agreement a few years ago to make this a centerpiece community was, I feel, misfounded and didn't really relate the core function of what made this community grow. And I realize not everyone here are golfers, but that's the center core of this community. And it's important that it not be unknown. I just wanted to state that I realize that there are many people that feel we should direct our attention away from the golf course, but I think that would be catastrophic to the community. That it's not our only concern, but the golf course should be maintained and made beautiful so that everyone in the community can be very proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Good morning. My name is Karen Hood. I live on Sioux Drive. I want to just kind of circle back to the pool issue for a moment. In light of Gail's resignation, I just wonder, and that was a week ago, if there has been an ad placed for a replacement for Gail. She will be hard to replace, but just questioning that. If someone could get back to me, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Any others?
Good morning. Aileen Grega, Myrtle Beach Drive. In regards again to the recreational center, I know we're going to have a new yoga center and a gym. I was wondering who makes the decisions of what types of class scheduling, what are the needs of the people in the community? Are we going to have a meeting? Do we know who's teaching? What are we teaching? What types of classes? If you can give us an idea so that we can have a voice into what exactly we are interested in, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, moving on.
Hey, sir, I can do a shotgun blast on the majority of those while the people are here, if you don't mind. So we are already discussing about pool. It's a combination of staffing, manning. Can we get people early? How we impact the yoga classes? It's an ongoing discussion we're having right now as a staff. And we will definitely involve the folks that are currently utilizing our pool for yoga. And we totally a fan of yes, we need to open our pool earlier. It is Florida. We should be open early, take advantage of the pool, but we have to weigh that against classes and so on. So that's an ongoing discussion with staff. Decisions will be brought for the board for the final understanding. We'll take it from there. I appreciate, Dan, your comments on Cantoria. We're going to continue work. Yes, the swale work we're getting done to get the water flowing. What we found in the past is that a short-term fix in certain areas was not addressing the larger problem of culverts clogged further down the line. So that's why you had pooling. So the example on Matanzas, perfect example, is from the street all the way to Cortez is a consistent flow that once we get some heavy rain, we're actually going to try to get our water truck out there and try to pump a couple thousand gallons of water to see that flow. We are observing that. We'll adjust and we'll move on forward for the front swale. So
definitely tracking that. Tied to that, Ms. Rhonda, yes, all our swales, we have a district swale plan worked out with our engineer. So we have all the areas of Sun Lake addressed. We're just prioritizing this based on the pooling effect. The concern we have, specifically the area you're talking about, for many years, the district was not enforcing the standards and the rules for the front yards and the front driveways and the amount of cement. That's caused a lot of hassle and headache. So we're having to address that, because to do a proper swale on some of the houses, your example for ponds coming off the circle, we as a district would be tearing up entire driveways to get a proper swale on there with a pipe and so on. Not undoable, but that's a larger project that our engineers working plans on. So we are doing that across the district. We're just prioritizing what I'll call the low-hanging fruit, knock those out before we take on the larger project. We'll talk the trash issue later. Appreciate the comments. We are very recreation amenity focused, to include golf, to include our pool. That's the standard. That is the core value of Sun and Lake. That's why people choose to live here. We're a safe, secure environment, and we provide great amenities that our sister towns and cities and villages around us are just not able to do anymore because of being cost prohibitive. We found ways to do it, and we're going to continue to do that because that's what draws people here. So the golf courses, even beyond the 400, 500 actual players, are very important, because the value of your house is directly dependent on those being two great successful courses. Even if you're not a golfer, even if you live all the way on 27, your value of your house is impacted by the quality of our courses, the quality of our amenities, the quality of this building, the quality of our pool. We all, I hope, understand that. And my job with our staff is to make sure we continue that, so we keep all your values up. And we're at a point, we've been reliant on a lot of volunteers, citizens helping us with classes. We are at a point, based on our expansion of amenities, a new yoga, a new gym, outdoor yoga, indoor yoga, chair yoga, that the task to my director as well as HR, we're trying to find a full-time rec trainer person that does everything. They'll be the one doing all the classes. And it becomes a professionalized position on our staff that will lay out the agenda. Just think of it resort-like. There'll be a list of all the sessions every week published here, that if you want to do chair yoga, water yoga, gym class, a private instructor, whatever, it'll be a Sun and Lake staff person that helps manage that, run that. So it'll be more professionalized and more consistent, because I know everyone's busy, so I don't want to put that burden on a volunteer. God love them. But that's not, I appreciate their help, but that's not their job. That's our job. So as we build that person, build that plan, we'll be reaching out to the people that are involved in these classes, get their feedback of what they want, what they desire, so we can appropriately address that. And I think I hit all the main ones. So more to follow. If you want more details, please get with me. But I think that covered it, sir. Thank you, sir.
For the third time, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make that motion.
I second
Supervisor McLaughlin,
Yes.
Supervisor Gilpin,
Yes.
Supervisor Carmona,
Yes.
Supervisor Phillips,
it. Yes.
President North.
Yes.
Thank you.
So next up is the action agenda for today. And the first up on that is the update on the district's 250th Salute to America celebration planning.
All right, so thank you. And we've been having internal meetings with citizen staff for about 3 months now, honestly. And we're at a point where we need to get this live out on our website, get more public feedback on the 250th. So if you don't know, on 3 July, the district is going to do an all-out celebration of America's 250th Salute to America event here. It's a Friday. That'll be an all-day event starting early morning and going all throughout into the evening up till our fireworks that we do every year. We're the only ones in Highlands County to do fireworks on the 3rd of July. We'll continue that. And right now, to the best of our knowledge, we've had some discussions with the chamber and other organizations. Sun Lake will be the only ones doing something to this grandeur at this level on the 3rd of July. So it's going to be beyond Sun Lake residents. It'll be an opportunity for all of Highlands County and all others to come enjoy the goodness of Sun and Lake and to see us put our best foot forward. So the task I gave to the staff months ago is to make this a memorable event. And I apologize for some of the people that's been in our 250th meeting, but I'm going to get a little cheesy here. So in 1976, on July 4th, was America's 200th birthday. And I think a lot of you were probably here, around, participating in some form of fashion, except maybe Ariel, she wasn't around, and a few others. God love her. So, but the task that I gave the staff is whatever we do, our best foot forward. We're going to go all out. We're going to make it a memorable event for everyone. So on that day, many years ago, a young Ray Bossert lived in Levittown, Pennsylvania, and they had the biggest parade ever in the area. So on the left there is my granddaddy, who's a Spanish-American War veteran and a World War I veteran. On my right is my daddy, that was a World War II, Vietnam, Korea. He did everything. And they were marching, I apologize. They were marching in the parade, and tied to that is little Ray Bossert, my sister, getting dad ready for his parade to march. And then here's me watching the parade on the side of the road that great day. So it was celebrating America. And I want that same feeling for us here, for Sun and Lake to celebrate America. So that's what we're going for. So I apologize, but
No apology
that's the excitement that I want, that we want to do. We don't want to just, throw some lickies and chewies out and say, come by for a party. No, we want a full day of events, everything from a 5K in the morning to a golf tournament, to a pickleball tournament, to a tennis tournament, to shuffleboard, to games, carnival rides, everything, all day long. You can pick and choose what you want to do. So here's your agenda for the day. That'll be, again, starting early in the morning, going all day long with a large cookout hosted by our restaurant. The Good Old American Barbecue will be on the back of the restaurant. We'll also have food trucks all day long. We'll have right next to us here a carnival rides, very similar to the carnival that the county puts on. We can't go to that grandeur right now just because of cost, but we're going to have some carnival rides, a midway, and a lot of other events that we will do throughout the day with games, bouncy houses for the kids, dog show, dress your pet up show, all this stuff, and all tied to celebrating America's 250th. Two main events that will go on throughout the day we're going to take advantage of is we have a mural that we're getting built in our new pool area. That's a large American eagle. It's basically the picture that we showed in the beginning there. So that mural is being constructed here, but this mural is not just a guy that's going to paint a great American eagle on a flag. Every one of those little segments is a small tile that you as citizens will be able to paint, whatever you want. We'll be getting those out to our residents, getting them out to our schools. You'll be turning them back in, and then our public works, Jimmy and the team, will put them all together, and it'll look like that from afar. But as you get up close, you'll be able to see the little painting of your family, your dog, whatever, your house. It'll be in the colors of the background, so it'll be a very personalized event. That'll be here for many years for the next 50-year event, the 300th birthday. So we're having that. That'll be a ribbon cutting probably around the noon time frame.
How big is the mural?
That is 8 by 24. Yeah.
Okay.
A second event that we want to tie to this is that we have a great amenity behind us here with our pool, with our gazebo, I call it. With the new pool complex, that gazebo gets nested in our pool complex. So the ability for us to have shows and bands and whatnot kind of gets a little bit, we can still do it, but a little bit more controlled because now we're competing with the pool. So part of this is in an area on our greens, as you see here, the green area, the green space we have next door here, closer to the dog park, closer to the wood line. We want to take advantage of this. We already have donations from the VFW as well as a couple vendors, contractors. We want to build a bandstand. We want to build a music space that we can have events throughout the year on. So there'll be a ribbon cutting for that as well. So throughout the day, all your events are basically going to occur around here. And it'll be continuous. It won't be like go from one to the next. You'll be able to show up and hang out at the carnival ride. And if you want to play the pickleball, you go across the street, you play pickleball, then you take a break, you come have lunch, or you go home for a couple hours, you come back. I mean, it's going to be continuous. So you'll see that throughout the day. And then I'm trying to get to the one slide here for my bandstand. I apologize here. Oh, maybe I don't have it. I apologize. It's a very simplistic design of a bandstand. It's going to be closer to the wood line. It'll be a covered area, covered space, keep out of the elements, have power, water, and it'll just be an elevated stage basically. But it will have a breaker, a screening wall. So if we ever have events, either plays or dance groups, they can do their changing behind it and then come out around. So it's going to be very simple concept. It's a concept. But that'll be a ribbon cutting later in the day. So we'll have two key events that we're looking at. We're trying to work a flyover for those events to take advantage of the day. We've got a person that owns a local helicopter that's offering rides that day. So you'll be able to sign up for that, and it'll be at our greens. They'll go up, do a 15-minute loop around Sebring, Sun and Lake, and then land, and they'll take 3 at a time. So we have a lot of things on the planning deck. I have a lot of citizens involved in taking over some of these things. We budgeted this year for just our fireworks and our 4th of July day, $25,000. We knew we'd be doing more, so we added more this year in the budget. We already got close to $12,000 in donations. So the money's coming in from people that want to participate and help us. Our goal for donations, and this includes individuals who want to give us $5, $10 to make this a great event. Our goal is $50,000 because that'll take this to the level of excitement that we want. We don't want to just, again, do a very simple day. So by $50,000 in donations, 25 in our kitty right now, I think we're able to give it a great day of events all day long, where not only our residents will take advantage of it, but everyone around will already know where to come that day. So that's kind of the concept. More to follow, but answer any questions the board has.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
I don't see anywhere on here like a parade or anything like that. I understand that my wife's been working on marching bands, for example.
Yes.
She's got 3 marching bands already lined up for it. Is that something we can include in a parade?
We're kind of going to nest that in with the golf cart parade. So right now we're looking at the marching bands, golf carts design or decorated for 4th of July. Also, there's been some interest of the car show people want to participate. So what I envision of this golf cart parade late in the afternoon, it'll go throughout Sun and Lake. It'll be a long train that will have a variety of everything from music to golf carts to, older cars, sports cars, to include bands. Okay. So it'll be in that time frame. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Is the marching band going to be able to walk that far?
We planned it for another event, our turkey trot, where they came in like at a midpoint and they ended it. So we'll definitely think through all that. I'm with you. The intent is to get the visual throughout the district as much as possible to all our neighborhoods. But the people that are walking, we'll probably bring them in at a point and end up back here at the midway. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Any other board questions? So we're doing a monthly meeting. You see there the movement ahead. We're getting our volunteer pool, just like we do at the Wall That Heals, that is getting built up to help us make this day a great day. We're continuing to reach out to our sponsors. There's a live donation button on our district website that if you want to contribute to our goodness here, please take advantage of that. There's some pictures at the front table there that has a QR code you can scan, and it'll get you more information. But every month, next meeting is 18 March. It'll be right here. It's open to the public. We're having a meeting that will update everyone on what we've got locked in, what we want to continue to do, what may be adjusted, and then we'll build this as it goes forward until we execute on 3 July. Yeah.
And you will keep us informed and
Yes, sir.
the money and stuff.
Every month you'll get an updated board meeting. Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's just like the wall that we had. It was a great idea and great thing, but a lot of things I'd like, I asked you last meeting for this, but I'd like an update all the time if we could. Because I know this is great ideas, but it's we need money.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
And my other question is, I saw someplace Veterans Park. I didn't know we had one.
Well, we're trying to designate this green space here close between the dog park and here, and more solidify that where the bandstand's going to be, where the flagpoles are going to be.
So it's
create.
really not a veterans park yet?
No,
So-
sir. No, no,
so
no,
we,
no.
Not yet, right?
okay.
We're going to bring that
Yeah.
to you as a,
Okay, I
as
just,
an
when I saw
understanding.
that, I said,
Yeah.
I've been here a long time and I don't know where a veterans
Yes,
park
sir.
is.
Yeah, we do not have a veterans
Okay,
park here.
okay.
Yes.
Do you foresee the pool being finished by then?
Pool will be done, the fencing will be done. We may be probably still working on the yoga and gym, but the pool will be operational with the landscaping.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I don't know if you want to open up the public.
Any public comment on this day, this event? Next up, a discussion to adjust the board meeting schedule based on some upcoming events and conflicts.
So we obviously have our schedule. We publish a schedule, November timeframe for the entire year, locked in our dates, morning, afternoon, so on. As the year progresses, events happen, schedules potentially change. We have a new board member came on the board. So this was an opportunity that we started highlighting as staff, some point of concerns of that we're just recognizing to you, you may not have the full quorum. You will have a quorum, you may not have the full board. You may have some key staff that aren't available for certain times, like with the conference we go to in Orlando. It conflicts, so we moved the meeting back to June. So I just wanted to make awareness here for the board, because as soon as we lock this down, then we publicize it with our residents. They know the new schedule and get the word out. We have a lot of time to adjust schedules. A minimum is two weeks, so we definitely can meet all those timelines if we do a decision this week. But there's some concern conflicts, more so for maybe individual schedules. I'm not worried about the staff ones because we'll adjust. We'll have a different maybe person in my seat or whoever. And we already did recommend a move of the FASD is our annual conference we go to about special districts. We have 2 presentations going on, so it's a pretty critical week. Janice and I will be giving, and Coral will be giving a presentation to all the districts in Florida about what we did with our assessments and our collection of money for our assessments. And then Cameron is doing a briefing to all the districts in Florida of how to create a successful IT department for a district. And we're helping other districts figure that out. So I really want my team to be there, present, representing Center Lake accordingly. We're also in the running for the best special district in Florida. So I definitely want to be there for that when they present that award. Knock on some wood on that one. We want to be there for that. So moving that back to 2 June is non-brainer for us. It's the first Tuesday, but this is more so for you guys to discuss.
I have a scheduling conflict myself. Is that something we would discuss as a board together?
It's up to the president now for discussion. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can speak to mine. I retired from a company at the end of the year, transferred my calendar over to my personal computer, and I messed it up. So I was just hoping with 7 months ahead of time, we could move that one. If not, I know the vice president will take the chair for that meeting. But I guess in general, I mean, are we open with, forget the reasons, we're several months ahead, are we open to moving if there's a request to move a meeting? I'd like to have that discussion as a board because I kind of feel like it's not that easy of a question.
Well, I think we need to have a quorum on June 16th, and you, yourself, Mr. President, are going to be out. That's the date that I can't make it. I'll be up in New York for graduation. I don't know if there's anybody else that we would have an issue with it. I know we need 3 for a quorum, but is that something perhaps that we can go ahead and take a look at to reschedule something like that to fit in your schedule, Mr. Boss?
June 16th is just a budget meeting,
Yes, ma'am.
just a budget meeting. Ooh.
In the past, I only can attest to 9 years here, but the schedule set a year ahead of time. We work around that, our vacations, and sometimes you can't, you have to miss a meeting, but
I would
unless
prefer
we don't
not
have
to be
to,
there.
we need a quorum. If we
Right.
don't have a quorum,
Exactly.
then the meeting should be moved. But if there's 4, if there's 3, and that's happened, And I don't remember ever not having three. But if we don't have a quorum, then we have to move the meeting, I think. Because these are put out a year ahead of time by Boz and the staff. And I know that the first, unless the board ever changes it, the first Tuesday of every month is a meeting. That's a given. Now, that could be changed, but right now, that's what we do. And so I think the second, I don't know how it went from the 9th to the 2nd to begin with, but how did that happen?
How it went back to the second?
No, it was at the 9th, shouldn't it have
It
been the
was
2nd?
because initially the conference was the first week of June.
Okay,
They
so
moved the
we
conference.
changed, or you guys did it
Yes,
because
sir.
of the
We
conference, and then
changed
the
it.
conference goofed you up.
Then they flipped it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maybe in that case, since we have, I'm not sure how many people we're gonna have, but it sounds to me like we're gonna have all of Sun and Lake at this conference.
We have at least 5 staff members, and I have commitments from 2 board members that want to
Okay.
participate. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that probably should be moved and maybe in, are you the president now of this?
No, sir.
Okay. Maybe in the
Working that
past,
way, working
we
that way.
should not maybe have to change our board meetings for this kind of meeting, but
Yes, sir.
I guess, but I think that should be moved. And my other question, the one in November.
Because
that we-
elections is
that we
being held here.
election And it's here.
Yes, sir.
If, we've moved at one time, once in a while, and one time we did a whole year over at the, but that would be up to the board, but unless there's and that should be moved if we can't do it over there in the banquet hall over there. But
What's the
that-
downside of moving that to the 10th on November because the election's here?
Yeah.
What's the
Can you
downside
tell me if
of
we have the
moving?
10th open over there? Nothing right now? We'll have to check. I mean, it's equivalent to the same size, audio, video. We'd have to tweak.
I'm just questioning why is it an issue to move it 1 week back when we all see the conflict? Just because that's the way we've always done it. If we're 9 months ahead of schedule, if we decide it should be moved, let's just move it. I don't know that we have to be on the date just because that's the way we've always done it. We're 9 months ahead.
Yeah, well,
Plenty of time to,
I agree, but in my case, I don't have it, but I don't know, I can't speak for you guys, but I don't know if somebody else scheduled something. We can't be changing something.
well, that's why we're discussing it 9 months ahead. If we
to,
can, if we all can agree, we can meet that date, let's move the date.
Well, and I don't mind that as long as somebody else did not schedule something for that date. I mean,
Well,
I know I
That's why
have-
we're here discussing it, to see if we
I
have any
haven't.
conflicts.
I haven't.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
And if we
What
need,
day-
if we
what-
need a couple days to look at our personal schedules, let's do it. But
I looked already. I don't have one.
What meeting don't we have a quorum? Is there a meeting
None.
date there that we don't have a quorum?
And I'm good with that. If you all want to meet, I'd love to be here, but if you guys are willing to meet less than 5,
I know.
I'll
That-
take
I
my,
just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Why don't we,
7
why
meetings.
don't we go line by line and decide which ones?
I just don't see. Probably.
I just, again, I just don't think they should be moved.
and I'm asking, why not?
Because somebody like me that's already scheduled, I know if we move a couple of them, I won't be here.
That's why we're discussing this.
Well, and that's what I mean, but I mean, why would, the meetings are set, we all know when they are. I don't want to miss a meeting and we should keep it. We should just not move a meeting just because 1 or 2 people can't be here.
And I'm not suggesting that. I'll take my lumps on the one that I have a personal issue. I'm saying November 10th. That's an election
Oh,
day.
that one very easily could be, because I checked on that one. And the one that the boss is gonna be gone.
I'm not worried about that.
Well, I know, but it's still,
So
So
the only one that we really need to move is November the 10th. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
that's what it sounds like to me.
Well,
Okay.
16th of June is the budget meeting, and so far, two of us can't make that. I understand there's a quorum, but I think it's important that all supervisors should be available for a budget meeting.
I agree. Life happens. Things tend to change sometimes, but if we want to be, that's the way we've always done it mode. If we have three, I'm good with it.
Okay.
So those dates, you're good on all those dates. We haven't changed.
No, yes, I've already got those in my calendar.
21 April is our budget workshop.
Uh-huh.
5 May, just having a board meeting. Just on staff here. We are going to go to the 2 June date. So that's a change.
Yeah, you want me to make a motion?
Well, I'm just clarifying the
Okay.
language here so I can make my notes here. 2 June, 16 is a budget meeting, keeping that. 1 September, we're keeping that. And we are changing to the 10 November date.
Yep.
So if it's just a motion as presented, it's all.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have did you make a motion?
Yes, I make a motion.
I'll second. And the motion is to accept this
Supervisor McLaughlin,
Yes, as presented.
as presented.
Right.
Supervisor Carmona,
No.
Supervisor Gilpin,
Yes.
Supervisor Phillips.
Yes.
President Norton,
No.
Okay. So we'll get an updated calendar for the rest of this year. We did mention the FASD. What I would offer is, we have time, so there's no rush. We still have the availability for any board member to participate. It's in Orlando. It's at the Marriott. It's an hour away. So if you have an interest to participate, even if it's just for a day, please just send me a note and I'll give you the workings of the travel and the hotel and that type of stuff. But I think because of what the district is going to do it there, it would be a great opportunity if you all have that time during that time frame of 7 through 11. The events that we would participate in, you know what date you're doing, Cameron? 8th? And I think we're at the 7th, we're at the 8th. So the front load, the days that I would recommend, Monday, Tuesday, if you're available, but just get with me afterwards and we'll chat about that.
As I already told you, I would go, and you were to get
I was
back
going to
to
get you
me.
the, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I'm tracking you and Mr. the President. So, yeah. Okay, that's all
would
I had
be
on that one.
interested as well.
Sir?
I am interested as well.
All right, I'll get with you, sir. Okay. All right, we're good, sir.
Okay, moving on, the update to the termination of the Tanglewood lease and motion to approve the agreements with Tanglewood on the entry road access and conditions.
So this is something that we discussed over 2 years ago, working with our Tanglewood friends. Many years ago, I think 17 or 18 years ago, the district entered into an agreement with Tanglewood of control of the main road by the U-Haul, the Dollar General, control of that road being given to Tanglewood and the corporate headquarters. That existed for the first 10 years, and it was auto renewal. No one from the district said change it. It automatically renewed. But 2 years ago, there were some issues with that agreement with the businesses along that road and the lack of, I'll call it, just working with those businesses. So we engaged the Tanglewood corporate headquarters to see, hey, we probably are in the point of termination because we as a district need to be more involved in those businesses with those issues and not have a tenant deal with those issues. So Tanglewood initially agreed. They started working in the language. They're more concerned about our responsibilities as a district with their sign and will we take their sign down? And we've worked that into the agreement, and that's what's in your packet there. We still have not heard back from their lawyer yet. So it's that agreement is sitting with the Tanglewood lawyer for some comments. I think what I'm asking here,
Sorry.
what we're asking for here is just a conceptual agreement that once we get the actual agreement back and it meets the language requirements that we need, we'll get, you can approve it for the president to sign, or we need to bring it back to you. We can do it either way. But it's simply us taking back the road with all the responsibilities of the road and making sure that Tanglewood's asks with the signage, the monument sign, the display sign, we maintain. Tanglewood has not put a penny into that road. Even in the 18 years that they owned it, the district has, whoever was in charge, took, filled potholes and did stuff like that. It's never, so really they weren't living up to the agreement. So we just need to release control of that. Basically from 27 all the way to their gate is the road we're talking about. There is some irrigation in there that they're responsible for, so they'll get the electric bill, they'll get the water bill, not us. But it really just puts the district back in the driver's seat for any businesses there. The businesses then adhere to our rules, our sign rules, and conform with our standards. And there's not a middleman of corporate headquarters Tanglewood getting involved. So that's kind of where we stand here.
So we can't approve this now because we haven't heard back from their legal.
Well,
is
what
that
I
correct?
ask is if unless there's an opposition, if you agree in concept that we need to terminate, then that gives us our marching orders to get that language cleaned up with the lawyers. Yeah.
I would say yes, I'd like to see it terminated, but I'd like to see what you guys have.
Sure,
agreed
yes,
to.
sir. No, we can bring it
Because
back. Yeah.
I really have a problem with what they did when we wanted to put turn 2 on that sign and the problems there.
Yes.
Tanglewood did not act in a very,
Agree. And this cleans that up.
and I kind of maybe want to get even. But they acted very much not like a neighbor, and that whole area might grow, and
Sure.
I just want to make sure that you guys do. I want a potential part of that, because you might not agree with me and the board, but I just think they should not control that area. And
We're on the same
I
wavelength.
strongly want to urge that you two know that.
Yes, sir. We understand that.
I don't think it's a matter of getting even. I think it's a matter of making sure that the people that are there on that road are serviced properly.
Yes. You got to remember,
agree.
17 years ago, there was no businesses there.
Right.
So Tanglewood was just worried about access. We will give them access. We'll never close that road. That's their main road. They're actually going to put a four-way light at the end of that road because across the street is the BJ's wholesale shop that's coming to Sebring. So that's going to be a major road that we need control of to make sure the ones that build on our side is
Where's
treated
BJ's
accordingly. Right next to the Holiday Inn.
Right across the street.
Yes.
Denny's.
So
But
yes, sir, we're with you
Yeah.
there. We
we
just
need
want
to
positive
control
control.
it just because it's ours.
Yes, sir.
And it was very unprofessional of them
Agree.
to not work with
I
us
agree.
when we tried to help one of our new businesses out.
Yes, sir.
So on and so forth.
So we just need to give you a census of report of that we agree with this?
Yeah, so we're working on
agree.
that language. I'm not worried about that. So
Okay.
if you just want to give us consensus that you're good,
I'm
we'll
good.
get the agreement finalized and we'll bring it back to another
I
board.
think
meeting.
we make a motion right
You don't want a motion, just consensus.
now. Consensus.
I'm good
We're
with
good.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're good?
Good. Yep.
Any,
Out of curiosity, though, the land behind turn 2 and between Tanglewood,
that is in the district. We're responsible for
okay,
that.
so it's
We
ours.
control that. Yes. sir.
And
It's
then
not ours,
also,
but
also on the other side of the road as well?
yes, all this is the road and the right of way that
My
Tanglewood now.
question is, do we envision businesses coming into there?
Exactly.
We already have.
Well, I
That's-
know we
that's
got the
holdup.
one, but
Yeah.
between turn 2 and Tanglewood, there's nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Okay.
There's
But
a
there's
developer
lots.
that's
Yeah,
talking right now about
Gotcha,
that. space.
okay.
Yes, sir.
That's my curiosity. I was hoping Tanglewood didn't own beyond
No,
their gate.
Just the right of way.
Yeah.
Who has responsibility for the frontage road all along 27?
That's us. That's
That's
Sun
us
Lake.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's part of the snafu. We come right up to these Tanglewood Road, this access, and then our responsibility stops by the agreement. But that's the only place in the whole district that's happened. So we need to clean that up. So. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we'll bring this back in final form at the April meeting, and we understand your guidance. That's all we had.
Any public comment on that topic? Okay, next up is a discussion and motion to approve the proposed policy charter changes, attachment 8D.
So the slides are just reflecting all the red ink in your entire policy book. So I just cut those forward. So residents, since they don't have the whole book in front of them. So in your packet is the entire updated policy Jan has put together with the red lines. And then these slides just go on the topics focused on voting, focused on election of the president, vice president, and some procurement, but it was everything that you gave us direction on last month. We can go line by line, and if you're good with what you read, then
I'm
we
good with
just,
what I read.
oh, yeah, the only one that was, we kind of left, we want to do it is the invocation, the preacher policy. So if that language is good with you, that's the only thing we took from county. We took their language.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what that is, just as long as you're good with that language, that we will, we'll seek out different representations across the district as
Right.
well as regionally. We'll make sure there's a rotation of religions if possible. And they'll just have a few minutes invocation. Yeah.
So your staff will send out an
We'll
invite?
take, yes, sir. Jamal will be my lead on that. He
Okay.
reaches out to all the churches.
I know for this particular invocation that we had, I reached out to
Yes,
the
sir.
pastor, but
Yeah.
I
From this
asked
point
him
forward.
if we had sent anything out to him, and he said, no, he hadn't seen anything. So
Until you guys tell me that's where
Right.
you want to go,
Yep.
then we'll put a notice out. And I think the language here is at the beginning of each year.
Yeah, December of every year.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Janice, I'm sorry.
December of every year, the invitation will be sent out to all of the churches, mosques,
Okay,
synagogues,
so we have plenty
other
of time
religious
to,
organizations, and, first come, first serve.
okay.
So what do we do for the balance of this year?
We'll send a notice out now once you approve this, but the
Okay.
regular rhythm is once you approve the meeting schedule, then we'll send the notice out to all the preachers. Yep.
Good.
Okay.
And Boz, I had a question on the officers. At the last meeting, we had a consensus vote that officer, because we talked about the vote would still be the same if it's 2-2. I know we had a consensus that was at least 3 votes to let that supervisor vote, but I noticed that it's come up that you're recommending that they don't vote.
What are you referring to, sir? I apologize.
Duties of the board officers,
Okay.
under officer. A supervisor who is subject of a proposed removal shall not be eligible to vote. We discussed it,
At the bottom.
whether, like the last vote, if I didn't vote, it would have been 2-2, it would have been a no anyway.
Yeah.
We voted to keep it the same, and then this showed up completely different than what we said.
No, I thought that's what we did say.
No, it went.
Yeah. Okay, so you just, what's in black, you're referring to just keep the black language there.
Well, that's, again, it's up to the board, but I know President Norton questioned it. And we said we'd keep it the same, and there were at least three of us said we keep it the same, and it showed up.
Sure.
this.
Your
So,
pleasure, sir. You tell us what you
I
want.
mean, I don't care.
My only question was, did that really add any change to what we're already doing? If the person votes or not, it's still gonna be 2-2.
Still dies, yes, sir.
Yeah,
so-
it's still gonna be, so that's why I think we decided to just leave it the same anyway, but again, it's up to the board. But this was not what we decided at that
Sure.
meeting.
Okay. I think
Anybody else have a comment on that?
from our take on it, we just thought of the optics of it, and that's why we stuck with that
Mhm.
language. But that's your
But
call. You
I-
tell us that.
I honestly, I don't think that the person in question should have that privilege.
I don't know.
If it ends up a 2-2, then it ends up a 2-2 and we're stalemate. But I don't think that
It's
particular
not a
person should
stalemate,
have-
it dies.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, so, and that's why I thought adding that is really adding nothing other than optics. Yeah. And I'm okay either way, it doesn't really
I-
change anything is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, the vote could not be 2-2. It could be 3-1,
Sure.
you know. So
And if that
it's not
person
all-
voted, it would be 3-2, they lose anyway.
I don't
Yeah,
think that a
it's
person should.
usually for a felony or something like that, not a disagreement on the board.
Mhm.
And if it's a felony, there wouldn't be a 2-2 vote.
Yeah, oh, no.
You know, so,
Hope not.
Be
and that's,
removed.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I'm
there's been
sorry,
a
I
lot of
don't-
boards I've been on, we would have voted somebody off in a minute if it was on personal things, but we can't get into that. It's, just because we disagree with somebody.
that-
We're an
I-
elected official, so.
I just. I
But
don't-
again, it's,
whether we adopt this or not, nothing changes other than the optics. So, and I'm good either way. Yes, when we're done talking about the issue. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I like this. That's my vote,
I think the
my
issue-
opinion.
I think the issue is we voted on this already and now it's being changed. So we voted the other way the last time.
What way do we vote?
We voted that the person could vote.
I
It
didn't.
was a 3-2
We didn't-
vote. We did
was-
vote.
You
But
gave
you
us
voted.
direction to get it cleaned up. There was no vote, sir.
Yeah, right.
You just gave us the areas you want us to present you the language. That's all we did last month.
We give you a consensus.
Yes.
Yeah. I move on to public comment. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it seems undemocratic for that person that you're accusing of something he's been elected as a board member. So why would you not let him vote? It won't make a difference to be 3-2, but it's undemocratic to not let him vote.
Good point. Good point.
Any other public comment? Disagree or agree?
Agree.
Agree, okay.
Agree.
Thank you. Any other further board comment?
Nope.
Leave it the way it is.
Yeah, my opinion is it changes nothing by adding it. Let's leave it the way it was, but that's my opinion. And I think the gentleman makes a fair point.
Remove it, keep it.
Keep it the way it was.
Keep it the way it was.
Keep the black language.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, we'll strike the red for that line, but everything else in red, we need a motion and a vote to accept changes to the policy manual.
I make that motion.
I second it.
President, Supervisor Caramana,
Yes.
Supervisor
line
McLaughlin,
now.
Yes.
Supervisor Gilpin,
Yes.
Supervisor Phillips.
Yes.
President Norton.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get that cleaned up, published, and it'll be online this week with updates. We have nothing add on, no, sir?
Petitions and communications.
We just got a letter from the firm that did our audit, or not our audit, audited the election. So that's included in your packet. I appreciated their comments, their observations, so it worked well. Yeah.
Legal.
I'm not sure when the right time to bring up the elections is, maybe at the end, but you and I discussed who's eligible to vote in our elections.
Yes, sir. We can discuss that. It's something I got to get with Jan. I haven't spoke to Janice on it yet. So.
Okay. I talked with Boz, and my comment was last November, I don't think we did it right. In that the Ms. Healy, head of Board of Elections, said only Sun and Lake homeowners and only one could vote for an elected position. And my contention is anybody that has a certified to vote in Florida should have been allowed to vote.
Oh, no.
And so those votes were, it seemed to me the way she was treating it as if it was the landowner's vote. One homeowner and one person in that home could vote. And I know of one family of 5 that were allowed to vote once for me. And they should have been allowed to vote 5 times, in my opinion. So I want to make sure we're clear before this November that language is clear.
So we're setting up, she has a lot of elections going on right now with
Yeah.
Avon Park and Sebring. We have a meeting with her. I'll definitely bring in Janice to discuss, make sure that the county for the November election is running it the way we think they're running it. Or if not, they need to explain themselves to us. And after that meeting, we can invite her to one of the board meetings and she can answer those questions directly if we see a need for that. So.
Okay.
So it'd be like a national election.
Well, yes, ma'am.
Every
Anytime the
person would
county,
vote.
the county's
Yeah.
running it, it's popular elected based on if you're a Florida registered voter.
Right.
That should be what it is. Yeah. For
Right.
3 of you guys. Yeah. Right?
Correct.
So I don't see why they would limit,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
wife not voting. If you voted, you're both registered voters in Florida.
You're
talked
Yeah,
about
and
the
I
landowner position.
witnessed that when I
No,
went
the
and voted, because
public.
I voted early.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
last year my wife
And there
couldn't
was
vote
a
for me.
young man in front of me that
And only the homeowner
lived
could
at
vote.
18 years
And
old.
I had a family of
And
5 yesterday.
the woman asked him,
Three
do you own a
kids,
home? And he said,
all
no,
old
my
enough.
mom and dad do.
They were
Well,
told
she
they couldn't
wouldn't let
vote.
him vote. And
But,
that's,
but he was
And I
you think
gave
he
my
was a
next door
Florida
neighbor a
registered
lived
voter.
in the house.
Yeah,
Of
we gotta
course,
figure that.
I didn't want to get in an argument,
Well,
but
we'll dig
he-
into that.
He should have been able to vote,
You're exactly right. Yes.
you know.
Yes. There is a difference between our landowner and our public
That's,
election.
that's
Right.
the kind of stuff I would like to get.
We'll
Now, if
we'll
they're
get it.
25,
between
26, I
landowner
would
and
say no.
public is what we're talking.
We'll get an answer
Yeah.
for you from Ms. Healy. Yeah.
Thank you. Staff reports?
Legal.
Went back to the policy, so I've got to scroll down here. So I've just been working closely with staff, Tanglewood agreement. We're still waiting to hear back from the Clearwave people on the memorandum of understanding with regards to them starting to install the fiber optic cable. And we've been working with the district on a business registration policy. We're looking at the law surrounding it. It would be voluntary. It would also include home businesses. So we'll be working on that and bringing that forward. It'll go in the policy manual, I imagine.
Yep.
And just, again, the district's doing great work. We're just supporting them in their efforts.
Okay, I have one question on the Clearwave Fabric MOA. That is still an option. They can put it in, but we do not have to sign up with them, correct?
Yes, ma'am. So that's a great point. Let me clarify that. Any fiber company has the right to come here,
Right.
drop a permit, and put in fiber lines
Correct.
anywhere in the district. And we would, other than us approving the permit, we don't have a say yes or no. We just say, follow our rules, install it. So the memorandum is just because Clearwave is doing the entire district, I'm going to have to adjust our fee schedule for their permit. It's not just $400 for one permit and they do the entire district. So that's why there needs to be a memorandum between us, because we're adjusting the fees. We're going to hold them accountable if they tear up stuff. So that's why we are recommending a memorandum between us and Clearwave. It's not authorizing them or not authorizing them to put in Clearwave fiber. That's going to happen irregardless. We're just having to do a lot more controls at the district level that we need a memorandum. That's the difference.
I say that because I have the green box at the corner of my lot.
Yep.
And they somehow cut the line. And I had to have Verizon come in and put a cable inside it. What do you call those things? Where you can't cut it?
Yeah.
Up to my house.
Okay, so part of that.
Yes, that word.
Part of that agreement is, like we do with a permit, we need to outline to the vendor, Clearwave, the responsibilities for damages, how quick they fix those damages. They have to do locates.
Okay.
We're the ones doing the locates, it's not them. So that's why there needs to be a memorandum for the immensity of this
Okay.
project. So that's why we haven't got it back yet. They will be here this afternoon for a town hall to explain the fiber, the costs. They're going to be here for residents to come talk to them. The district won't be here. We're not involved in that sales pitch, but we're still working the memorandum to bring to you guys for the final signature. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
That's it for legal.
Were we ever approached by the one that does their own roads right now? It was brought up last meeting, and you said no one had ever approached us about taking care of their roads. Hampton Woods, or I think it's called.
Magnolia.
Yeah, we're still working with that. We have to do a title deed transfer or something.
Yes, so basically it's a straight deed where they're going to deed the right of way over to the district, but in order to have a deed that we can record, we need a survey showing exactly what where the right of way is. On the plat, it's all listed as common area or common elements, including other facilities that they have. So they have to show us something that shows exactly where the right of way is so we can record it in the county records. Bob sent me I believe the plans, and there might be a good enough legal description in the plans. And if so, we won't have to bother them. If there isn't, the villas will have to hire a surveyor and give us a legal description.
I have an issue with this. we're accepting their roads. What if their roads were built substandard and all of a sudden now we're in there having to repair these roads because of that?
Sure. So their roads were built right at 5 years ago to the standards that the district at the time, their engineer, who's the same engineer we have now, gave them those specifications. So from our engineer perspective, and he was on site for that, they were built to what we wanted at that point in time. And they're the youngest roads we have.
Mhm.
So we're like I say, we're not going to touch them for another 15 years at our level. So,
So if there's any issues with the roads down the road, we'll say.
we own it. No,
We
yes,
own
sir.
it, right?
Yeah.
We
Well,
can't go back on the developer to go ahead and repair that road?
No, sir.
No. Okay,
Because we approved those permits back then.
right,
And it is what it is. Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Let's knock out the easier ones, if you don't mind. The sheriff will be here in April, and he basically does the rounds with some of the communities to talk about. They just put out their 2025 report of incidents and whatnot, so I asked him to attend to have some targeted questions on him. So that'll be that, and then we'll add in there maybe the elections commissioner will be here, if not that month, they'll probably do it that month as well, because that's a pretty important issue. Advent, they are executing their third story build. So if you remember correctly, the hospital, they're just going up a story. They're not adding any more parking. There's no need for it. And you'll see that construction going on. Separate from that initiative, in red you see there is Advent owns those parcels, and that's where they're talking about the housing. Don't know if it's apartments yet. Don't know if it's condos yet. Don't know if it's 1 or 2 stories. They're working that design right now. And the closer square up there next to 27, that'll be more so the I'll call it the recreation complex. They want to build a combination indoor gym, indoor pickleball, but it's connected to the housing. But it's not us. It's all Advent. So it's on their land, but they would have to obviously connect to our utility land clearing permits and that type of stuff. Right now, that is in infancy mode because they're having to do some water offsets themselves. So they own land, and if they're having to get a permit through Southwest Florida Water Management, they have to show a different area of land to do an offset or build a stormwater retention pond. So they're working through that. We're aware of that. We're involved in those discussions. I don't foresee design work on what that will look like probably for another 2-3 months. And when they do, we'll bring it to you. When it's a little more firmer, then I would ask Advent to come here and do another presentation. But let's see what it's going to look like aesthetically and so on. So that's ongoing.
Russ, I have a question regarding
Yes,
the
sir.
locations there. What's going to be their point of egress as far as these 2 different complexes? Because if they're going to be using the hospital loop going around, that's going to create quite a traffic issue.
So their intent is that is a walkable community connected to the hospital or golf cart. So Arvida is that road that runs on the north of the hospital. It connects our Ponce de Leon to Arvida, or Arvida is the road. So their intent is, those people living there will have cars and whatnot, but they're going to build a larger golf cart path. And those people will commute to work, honestly, in golf carts is what their vision is, to be more healthier.
Okay.
So yes, there'll be some traffic there. The traffic will go north and south. It won't impact any of our neighborhoods. It'll put a few more cars on our frontage road, but there's an access point onto 27 right there by the
So they'll
hotel.
have an access to the frontage road from their facility?
The north
there?
side there, by our wastewater plant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's our road, that's our point, but they'll just drive out that way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so vac truck. So we talked about this in the past. It's actually in our 2027 capital budget for $550,000. This is this large truck that we do not have currently in the district. The only communities around us, Sebring has one, Avon Park has one. This is a large utility truck that gives us the capacity that we require for our utility, more so for our culverts and our manholes that we clear. So I gave you some data points at the bottom. Even without one, we have to go rent one when needed, and we have to go to Lakeland to rent it. There's nothing nearby. We've tried doing partnerships with our 2 sister cities. Yeah, when they're available, they'll give it to us, but it's not consistent. So we're really at a point in time where our utility with 6,000 plus customers, over 500 manholes, 20 miles of culverts that we own. We're at a point that this needs to happen sooner rather than later. We budgeted for it next year, but we have an opportunity now that we found a used, and I'm about that if it's a quality piece of equipment. We found a used piece of equipment that we can get in the district for a fraction of that, $160,000 compared to $550. That has all the bells and whistles that we need for capacity and so on. It also gives us the ability to engage with our residents, if need be, to help them clear their culverts out. Now, so we're all clear. If you build a driveway, we give you a driveway permit. We tell you the standards of the driveway, the pipe, and so on, and then you're built to that standard, and then we're done as a district. We have no more responsibilities for your culvert or your driveway on top of the culvert. It is your responsibility as a landowner, homeowner, to keep it clear. That ties into the swales and that whole thing. We found over the years, because of lack of maintenance on residents as well as the district and not having a very thorough code enforcement, I'll call it, we have a lot of compromised, damaged culverts that have just plugged up. So the culvert plugs up, we can do the best swales in the world, north and south, the water ain't going anywhere. So when we're having this type of tool, which we don't have now, we don't have the capability other than putting 2 of my public works guys in there with shovels and a handheld pressure washer to blow it out. This piece of equipment gives us the capability that we can go in there and in 5 minutes clear the culvert out for a homeowner. Now, we're not going to do that free. We're not a free society here. But if a homeowner called a contractor to do that, they would get a bill between $300 to $600 locally. That's just the way it is. If we as a district own this piece of equipment and had the capability internal, we could offer that as a service for a fraction of that, $100 for a culvert cleaning. And then it's done to a standard that we're accepting. We make sure it's clear. We make sure it connects to the swales, and we're good. So there's potential in the future that this thing will not only help the district facilities, but definitely help our residents at a great fraction of the cost.
Do you have an accounting of what we spent last year on a vac truck?
So the sad thing is we defer it. We don't do it. So I think in 2025, we probably spent 40,000.
40,000.
Yeah. Where we should be doing it more frequently than that. And 40,000, it's, $1,500 an hour. It's not a day.
What's the lifespan of this thing?
Well, right here, there's the ones we compared it to, the used vehicles are as old as 2012. They're still cranking away, and they're still in pretty good shape. So the lifespan on a piece of equipment like this, maintained, probably 30 years, piece of equipment, because it's not used consistently. It's not like a pickup truck. It's used for a specific project, and then it goes back into the bay and used for the
We
next
could use it as depreciable write-off.
Very much so. It also could be outsourced to companies like Duke Power. They're having to rent one to put in the power poles that draws all the muck out of the ground. If we had one here, they asked us that we don't have one, we would just rent them ours for the project that they're doing. So there's a lot of potential here. There's no RFP because it's used, but we did get 4 competing costs for a very similar vac truck, and this one still came out with flying colors. We did get it re-looked at. I think this is just an opportunity because this was a vac truck that showed up at an auto auction, not a industrial equipment auction. Otherwise, it would have been snatched in 2 seconds. So it showed up in an auto auction. We go to those looking for old pickup trucks and so on. We saw it and we said, hey, this is a great opportunity. KDL bought it. And we're like, hey, this could be something that we can get and then rent it back to KDL when they need it. And Kenny's fine with that. So it's just an opportunity. I think it's if we don't take it, we just keep deferring a lot of large projects that we should be doing. We have the CDL trained driver. It is a large CDL. We have the drivers on staff. So we're not worried about that. And there's a lot of potential that will help us expand our capabilities and our utilities.
And we already have somebody that's capable of running the vac truck as far
Yes,
as
sir.
training
It's actually been for the past 2 weeks, we've been using it for our emergency repairs and getting live training on it, even though we don't own it. Our guys are getting very familiar with it.
Well, going out, I talked to a lot of residents and it's very much needed. And to me, it's an explanation. They all think that we're going to do that for free. I mean, and that's going to be a big thing, but I'm very much in favor of this and I'd like to make a motion to buy that right now if we could.
And that's what we're looking for.
And I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Do we need public?
Supervisor Carmona,
Hold up.
Should
Do you
we
have any public comment on
Yeah,
this?
Public
we should have
comment.
public
Sorry.
comment
Yeah.
before we
Yeah.
vote on this.
Sure.
I just have one quick question when you mentioned the culverts. Okay, say you do have a neighbor, like, and their culvert is backed up, clogged up. Is it their responsibility to get that cleaned? I mean, or can they leave it like that, or do they have to get it flow so the water will flow?
So negative impact on a culvert is an immediate, it's detrimental to the district. We have a code violation there. So worst case scenario, we would have a code violation and charge them to remedy it. We would fix it, repair it, and then bill them.
Yeah, so how does the district have to get notified by a resident that, hey, there's my neighbor up here, you can see his culvert's like blocked? And it happened
Yes, sir.
on Ardonia and around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
And they have since put a new culvert in, which
Yeah.
I did at my house. My old culvert was all messed up when I bought the house. I foot the bill for putting the new driveway and culvert in. But up there along, I just wondered,
No, we would
is
take
it
a
something that
notification.
you guys inspect, or does it take a resident to call in to say, hey, there's water backing up here and it's not getting away?
Part of our stormwater maintenance plan shows areas of concern, culverts that are collapsed, and that we address those. We
Okay.
try to work with the residents to the best of our ability, but there will be some that are just obstinate, that don't want to do it. So that's when we have to inject ourselves into the process, fix it, and then charge them.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Dan, a lot of those people that I talk to and go see, a lot of them are collapsed.
Yeah.
And this back truck won't fix it, but they're gonna have to do it, but the back truck will really help those.
Yeah, but at some point in time, it's the district that actually gets involved, and when it gets that
Yeah.
bad,
Mhm.
I mean, whether we report it or there's actually people from the district looking at these problems once in a while.
Yeah, I think right away, Boz can tell you that when people start with water, especially in the summer, when it
Yeah.
backs up, he knows about it or we know about it.
Yeah,
Quickly. And that will be, we have the power to make them do that.
but I don't know if
That's
you're
right.
familiar with coming down Ordonia, right around the corner from my house, comes off. There's houses on the right-hand side as you come down there towards the ABC streets. The water used to just lay in there like crazy. They did a little work on the culvert down at the corner of Cantoria and Ordonia. But that's still an issue. When it rains, there's all kinds of water that stays in there. But I did see one of the fellows up the street there, that his culvert was like collapsed or blocked.
Yeah.
And I see that he poured a new section of driveway and put a new pipe in. And I wasn't sure if that was something the district like saw in inspections, or if somebody actually called and said, hey, a resident called and said, hey, there's a problem with this particular address.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we can make them.
But they did, whoever did it, I mean, it's a little better than it was, but in the summer, on that coming down Ordonia, that water never disappears. I mean, it stays, once it starts raining in June, it's there till October. Thank you.
Boz, do we have a listing of approved contractors that we could refer the people to as far as replacing culverts and that?
So we don't get involved in, we do informally. I'll say, our guys we know the ones that work here, usually the same builders. We don't really get involved in that. We just give them, hey, talk to these people.
Yeah.
We have prescribed vendors that we use for emergency repairs that we have already vetted, and that's our go-to list.
Yeah,
But
that's why I was wondering if we could give it to the people of
it's
the
usually,
community.
there's only about 7 that work in the district, and we
Yeah.
have those names, and our permitting gives them, say, call them. Yeah. It's
Okay.
not really advocating for them. We just have their names and numbers.
Okay. Well,
So
we've already had a
to-
second motion.
Motion and second to approve the purchase of the 2019 vac truck.
It's up to a vote now, right,
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie?
okay, Supervisor Carmona,
Yes.
Supervisor Phillips,
Yes.
Supervisor Gilpin,
Yes.
and President Norton.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And then we'll end on trash. So here again, we're just needing, the clock is ticking that we need guidance, because I need to tell the county to extract.
I would like to know what the county, what their
I would
new
love to
rates
know
are
that
going to
too.
be before we commit to anybody on this. That's,
I'm with you, sir. There's a challenge. working with PWR and the bid that they got, we can tell you our rates through 2030 with absolute firmness. The county is just being they're just not telling me. They do this as part of their budget discussions, and that starts next month with them. The best their team can say is probably late summer, before the budget's approved, they'll know a number. By then, it's too late for us. It's too late for us to react, and that's our challenge.
If we commit to PWR, what happens with our ad valorem taxes that we've already paid? Do we get a reimbursement from the county on that?
So right now, if you look at that top number, right now on everyone's tax bill for this year that ends September this year, you've already paid that number to the county, and they paid the vendor. So everyone is paid up through September 30th, 2026. This is a discussion starting 1 October that if we have until the middle of June to tell the tax collector, we are now collecting that money. The tax collector puts it on the bill, the amount we determine, and then just like with our property assessments, the tax collector, as people pay their taxes, will pay us the money, and then we pay the vendor. So it doesn't affect starting up 1 October onward, but that decision needs to be made sooner rather than later.
And the county would still charge us an
No,
assessment
county
fee?
stops.
No,
that
but
stops
would they
for the
charge
county.
us a fee like they're doing for our
Well, there's a
assessments?
3%. Yes, sir. There is the tax collector for non-ad valorem does have a fee. Yeah.
Okay.
But that'd be negligible for this amount. And so there's the process that Janice showed us, and it's in the county rules, that we send a letter based on guidance to the county administrator. We are an incorporated part of Highlands County, thus we are able to extract from this. This contract is meant for unincorporated parts of Highlands County. We as a district just jumped on the bandwagon because there was no other options back many years ago. So it's not because they forced us, it's because we needed a service and the county was the only one to provide a service. We're at a point in time based on size, based on our residents' asks, that we feel that we could do it ourselves with a reputable vendor, and that vendor will have skin in the game. And I think the benefits of us, if there's an issue right now, as noted there, a resident calls, they have, and we get a lot of calls every week. All I can do is give them the hotline to the county number. And I'm just a one of 10,000 people. So there's no prioritization. There's not, if we have our dedicated team here and a resident, 2 or 3 houses call, say, no one picked up our trash, trust me, they'll be on speed dial, they'll get a call, and it'll be done. And that's the control we need as a district. So that eliminates and gives us a lot of solves a lot of issues with our residents. It's more critical, and this is kind of gets lost because this is sausage making that you all don't see. Hurricane comes through here, blows through here with debris. These guys are on the hook to get it cleared, part of this contract with us immediately. And I say immediately, FEMA only gives us 30 days to clear it to get 100% reimbursement. Last Milton, we did not get 100% reimbursement because the county took 90 plus days to get our debris removed. So we got stuck with a bill, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
And the county that's their plan, that's their process. But if we had our own dedicated vendor that part of the agreement, they will respond to emergencies, they'll make sure we're done in 30 days, I did the paperwork submitted to FEMA, then any debris after a storm is 100% reimbursed, and they're on the hook. And that'll be part of the agreement with them. So that's a great benefit. The cost increases, it's locked in for this contract. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It's either CPI or 3%, right? So we know, and that's what I'm saying, we can tell you with very firmness our glide path in the next 3 years that when we charge $350, that's what we're going to charge. We pay them a portion of that. The delta is because when they're not picking stuff up on a recurring basis, if there's someone with a refrigerator, furniture, and he's going to pick it up. So we do have a part of the waste removal portion that we pick up. So that's baked into that $350. So it's not only a weekly service, but it's also the district is helping you remove large bundles, furniture, that type stuff. But because we use that $350 number starting 1 October, even with the cost increases, even with the either CPI or 3%, we can guarantee that in the first 3 years, we will internalize that number. They'll get paid what they need to get paid, but it'll be $350. The county can't give me that certainty. The county says every year it'll be 5+%, and the biggest year will be this year because they're going from a very good contract to a massive increase, and that's why, honestly, nothing against them. That's why they're very hesitant on releasing that number.
All right,
Yeah.
I want to go back to the refuse containers because that was one of the questions I presented, all right?
Yeah.
Is the county going to have an issue with us using their containers?
So when we have this discussion with the county, part of the letter will be, right now, any vendor, after a certain point in time, those containers are worthless. It's not even worth the energy to pick them up.
Right.
So we would have it part of the contract with the county as we extract from this. Do we buy your containers for a couple dollars per container? If they say, no, we're going to pick them all up, then I'm going to get with them and they're going to give me a cost for new containers branded at Sun and Lake, whatever. And that'll be increased. That'll be added in there. I would keep that as a separate, not tied to the 350 number. That'd be a separate one-time purchase because those containers will be good for many years. So I don't have that number for you yet. They know they owe me a
Yeah,
number.
'cause nobody
so they'll
wants to
start
have two
working.
containers in a garage right now.
Yep.
You know? Okay.
Question to you guys though, are you okay with having another name on the trash can that's not yours?
I have absolutely no problem with that
Mm.
because we have a suggestion we were thinking about as well because we want to be tied to this community. We don't want it to be, to where we're separate from the community. And that's part of our role. So we were actually thinking of branding the specific compactor trailers that we're going to be providing and working with here, as, Professional Waste Sources, a proud supplier, or proud service vendor to Sun and Lake. That is not a problem for us because I feel like, advertising for this community who's giving us this type of opportunity, I'm completely fine with that.
And will your arm pick up the big ones and the little ones?
Yes, ma'am. They'll pick up everything that's pretty much from 33 gallon to 95 gallon.
Okay. And they're picking up the waste also?
Yeah, they do. You do bulk once a month.
So
and you'll
bulk will
do-
be, everything will be done in quarters. We're going to be out here through the week. So there'll be a quarter to where your service day may be on Monday because you're in this particular quarter. But we will be there every week for trash, monthly for bulk, and larger yard waste will be monthly as well. And it'll be sort of the same thing. A claw trailer will come through, pick it up and empty it out.
Will you provide a schedule as far as the areas that you're going to be doing?
Absolutely. Everybody will be 100% aware of what day they are on. And then the only thing we will ask is that, every 90 days that we do an audit, any new homes coming in that need to be added, that things need to be, so we can make sure that those are on route and that nothing is missed. I'm not going to say nothing's ever going to be missed because you know what, nothing's perfect, but we will be here to rectify that situation. So where we can correct that the next day instead of the next week.
So you have equipment to buy. I assume you have staff to.
Well, we do have some staff already, but we will have staff to implement down here, yes. But what we're hoping for is to have a consistent staff on site at all times. There will be owners on site at all times. So it's not like you're just going to get some driver that's here for 2 months and then you get a new driver or then you get a new this. So there's going to be owners on site at all times as well as consistent staff.
To be ready to go October 1st, when do you need an agreement signed by us?
To be completely honest with you, if I'm being 100% honest with you, April would be a nice time, because we do have usually to order equipment based on specifications or modifications on the trailers or whatnot. We do ask, it's usually about an 8 to 15 week turnaround time on larger equipment. So we want to make sure that everything is in place and designated so we can also come in here at least a good 30 days beforehand and make sure that we've mapped and dry run this area many times. So the driver or the helper, so we know exactly what the best routes to take and we can condense everything down to make sure we're time efficient as well.
Dennis, is that enough time for us to do our due diligence?
Well, first of all, the way the county code is written is that the county is responsible for all trash pickup in the unincorporated counties unless the county administrator agrees otherwise. So the step one is the district to make a formal request to the county to let the district have its own trash collection and not be part of the county's trash collection. That has to happen sooner rather than later because they are gearing up for their assessments. So we need direction from the board to make that ask. Until the county gives the district approval, there's no way that the district can enter into an agreement for pickup.
I actually foresee the county saying no. And the reason for it is they're going to be losing quite a bit of revenue.
Well, I foresee them delaying the response. That's what I foresee.
Well, the sooner I can get that letter to them, because they have to give us a reason. I mean, we're following their extraction language
Right.
and submission. So if there is a no, there has to be an answer with the no. And if we wait, it not only messes them up. If we wait, I could see an answer being, well, we didn't have time. You didn't give us enough time. We're giving them 7
we need
months
to make a
before budget
Can
decision.
we give them time is of the essence notification?
Oh, yes, sir. We'll give them a please respond by X. Otherwise, I just,
Right.
again, I keep asking. I need that direction because this is a major muscle move that we need to get to them very quick.
Well, I see it as a benefit for us to move forward with the service, but again, it's going to have to be up to the county to begin with.
Well, my big question is, I mean, I'm holding you responsible if it doesn't work out with these guys. I'm not holding them responsible.
Sure. I'll be out there collecting trash.
Amongst everything else.
But my point is, you need to be comfortable, and it sounds like you are.
I'm comfortable because of we vetted them with the RFP, looked at references. We've been having a discussion. I'm comfortable with them. And we offered it to a bunch of other companies, to include the current Highlands County company, and they did not respond because they have the deal. So I think we've done our due diligence with the RFP and picking a good vendor that meets all our requirements. I like the FEMA aspect of it that no other company could give us.
I do too.
That's important.
That's a massive amount of money for every storm. I like the proximity that they're physically on site. Their
They're gonna
trucks will
park
be
their
in our
trucks
maintenance bay. So their
here.
trucks will be physically here. We'll give them workspace. They'll rent some space from us to put their trucks there. And if we truly have an issue, it's my staff calling his guy at the desk and we're getting the issue solved very quickly. I'm not calling some, robocaller and saying, we'll get to you next week and fix your problem. No. So I like that aspect of it and they've been vested, even without a contract, even without anything. This company, these two guys have been vested with here, Sun and Lake, since the RFP that we picked a year ago. They've supported the wall. They've come to events. I mean, they have a vested interest to get the contract.
Sure.
I got it.
Yeah.
But a company doesn't have to do that. So I know they want to be part of our community. And I think that partnership will expand over the years and it won't be a municipal run, waste system that really goes off the trail sometimes. It'll be a respectable vendor that's getting his foot in the Highlands County and they can maybe help other communities out as well. So I'm comfortable with them. Yes, sir.
And legally, just so you know, the one-page terms and conditions, I don't think is appropriate for a project this size. So we'll be definitely putting in some protections for the district. We'll be negotiating a contract.
Completely understood.
I just wanted to say I met some of you people at the wall thing and I think you're a great company. I mean, but I've had contacts with several people in the county. Nothing personal, but I will not be voting for changing because I don't believe the commissioners are going to let us. Just simple as that. We represent almost the whole county, Sun and Lake. If we take that away, and they control us if I'm not. And so it's just, to me, it looks like another lawsuit, or whatever we choose to do. But I have been told several occasions by a couple of the commissioners that they will never let this happen.
Well, I'm not going to let that stop me.
Yeah. Well, no,
I'm sad that they would say that.
That's just not
but
right.
it looks to me like another lawsuit. So
be it.
But nothing personal.
No, completely understood. The county's not going to want to let you go because
Yep.
they're losing funding. So by fact of, you do have the option to opt out of the county based on your business model here. You're basically sort of your own municipality here. So you're able to do that. They're not going to want you to do that, but you can.
We can
Many
try.
other HOAs do that on a much smaller scale as well. They opt out, They don't choose county services. They have to follow the guidelines to put that letter forth to make sure that they've hit all legal guidelines. But come June 1st or July 1st, depending on the county, they usually have that as a prerequisite. It has to be in by June 1st or July 1st of every year. If it's approved, once it's approved and the HOA is voted on that, because you're an entity that supports and makes the decisions for this community, that does come off of your taxes the following year, as long as it's filed by the specific date.
The only problem is we're
And
not
the
an
county
HOA.
doesn't want you to go because they increase the rates of whatever the vendor is bidding because they're making money off of the vendor as well. So you're eliminating the middleman by eliminating the county.
We can appreciate what you're saying, but I think we're going
Understood.
to have to leave it up to our legal counsel to make that decision.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. No, I absolutely, you should absolutely do that. But
Yeah.
it is definitely something that you can do as far as your community is
I think we
concerned.
should have a-
So would this letter perhaps prompt somebody from the county to show up at one of these meetings to
Sure.
tell us their side of the story?
They may be able to fill in that unknown, and that'll give us the information needed.
Mhm.
Right.
That forces them.
So do you need a motion or just consensus?
Motion to submit a letter?
Yeah.
A motion to submit a letter to the county?
And the
Take it
county
from
administrator makes the decision according to the code.
Yes,
So
exactly.
there is an ability for, it's an administrative decision, not a legislative or a policy decision of the county. So we're hoping, but I don't know the relationship between the county administrator and the board of, the county board of commissioners.
I would like to make a motion to go ahead and proceed with a letter to the county.
And I'll second it.
Supervisor Gilpin,
No,
Supervisor Carmona,
Yes.
Supervisor Phillips,
Yes.
and President Northen.
Yes.
Thank you. More to follow.
yes, there will be.
You all mentioned our holiday schedule. The next one coming up is Good Friday. Appreciate it, guys. Let's talk about this emergency repair. So we've been monitoring this. If you're familiar with Frontage Road, closer to the Dollar General, there's that sign that says dip, and it's been there for a few years. And the dip's there, and it gets worse and worse. In our inspection of our culverts, we do this every couple of weeks. We highlighted that this one, the dip is more concerning because now you see in the pipe there, you look to the top right corner, that vision right there, the pipe has basically separated, and there's a concern of collapse that a large truck, even just a regular vehicle over time, could just basically end up being a sinkhole, and then we have issues. So now that we are aware of it, need to do emergency repair. I've already authorized an emergency repair to get in here. We're going to have to remove that section of the road, remove that pipe. It's a large pipe, 48 inch, right, Jimmy? So it's one of our larger pipes. This takes all the water off of 27, pushes it towards our water preserve or our stormwater area. So that pipe is usually full come rainy season. So you're going to get a lot of hydraulic pressure coming with the pipe, but also the impact we've also found why it's gotten to this point is that sadly years ago a water line of the district was laid right on top of the culvert pipe.
Mhm.
You don't do that. So we have multiple issues that we will address, and that's why it's a little bit more expensive than the actual fixing the pipe. Once we dig it out, we'll reroute the water line. It's a major 6 or 8 inch water line that feeds the rest of the district. So that'll be moved away from the culvert, and we'll get this repaired and then fix the road, get that dip out of there. Right now, we got estimates from our combination of our utility guys will be working this, our emergency repair and our public works. It'll be about $175,000. We have it in our subsurface. We got over $1 million in our subsurface reserve for exactly these emergencies. So yes, I can authorize an immediate repair. I informed the board. I've done that. I think a motion that we just lock in $175,000 max repair. We'll take it out of our reserves and we'll get this thing done and fixed in a timely manner. Probably a couple weeks and we'll get it repaired before it collapses. Subject to your questions.
I don't have any questions.
Is
a motion to approve the repairs. if you don't
I'll make a
mind.
motion to approve.
Any
the
public
repairs.
comment on this issue?
That's an important thing. You
Yeah, it's
can't
very
just-
important. Yes,
yeah.
sir. Don't want someone going in a sinkhole.
That is a true emergency.
It is. Yes, sir.
Sometimes I question emergencies, but that
Oh,
is
come
not.
on now.
That is not.
I make a motion to approve the emergency.
Second,
Supervisor Caramano,
Yes.
Supervisor Phillips,
Yes.
Supervisor Gilpin,
Yes.
and President Nortman.
Yes.
All right, some other continuing work. Our new building is finally fixed up at this was another Milton thing that we finally got money for and fixed. Our top left corner there is our utility plant number 4. So now they have, that whole structure was blown away. Now it's an actual structure that we put our pipes in, get them out of the weather, and properly stores our waste, our water and our wastewater pipes. So show that. The bottom right is what this hole out behind us is looking like last 2 weeks ago. Now, if you go walk out there now, you'll see a slurry mix in the bottom, a mixture of sand, some gravel, and now they're doing compaction. So that's the bottom of your pool. So what we deal with in Florida is we hit groundwater. We hit a lot of groundwater, and now you have to press that water out of the site you want to build a foundation, and you do that by adding a mixture, pushing the water out to the boundaries, and then that gives us a solid base so your pool doesn't settle. If we were just doing a fiberglass pool that we slapped in here, the potential that that pool will just raise out of the ground could be there because you don't do a proper base. So we're not doing that. We're actually doing a cement pool, so I'm not worried about that. But to make sure it doesn't crack, we're doing the right steps. So they're on track on here. We should be getting the lap pool framing put in next week. So I just wanted to show you that what we're dealing with. We had to deal with this with the playground, same dewatering. We either suck the water out, but then it's at the same ground level, so it really never goes anywhere. So we're doing a combination of just pushing in another material to push that water away. Troon, here's their update. They gave me some data on the left there. You see what they do. We still basically doing my phone call with Troon. They're giving us some information. Sorry if it's hard to read for some of the residents there, but they do a lot of behind the scenes stuff for us with marketing, HR, food and beverage. So that's continuing. On the flip side, the more visual, the more in your face things our team is doing, yeah, Troon kind of helps, but it's really Mike, Jimmy, Clubhouse, those folks. All the activities, our membership is still solid at 308. We went up 8. Is that still a good number, 308? So we're still good on members. We've done a lot of member tournaments. Our cultural practices, we're doing that in-house with Jimmy and the team there. So next month will be 6 months since you guys gave us a directive. So I will consolidate the goods and bads, present it to you, and you guys direct if we're going to continue or not, or table it. You tell me. So.
And once you give us that, then we have, if we
There's a
give them
6-month
notice,
extraction.
it's 6 months.
Yes,
right?
sir. 6 months extraction. The main change we did in the contract that even in that 6 months, we're able to engage the employees if they want to continue with us, where that language was not in there previously. So we will have those discussions.
Boz, are you comfortable with this? Of ending it? Are you there?
Let's wait till next month. No, it is what it is.
Well, I'm not going to vote for this until you're comfortable.
Yeah, I
with
got you,
taking
ma'am.
over.
I appreciate that, and I will tell you next month.
Okay.
Ain't gonna happen.
Over 25, it's basically the stuff that we do. We pay our Duke Power, we pay our insurance. Nothing out of the norm, nothing needing an emergency vote on. It's all baked into the budget. You'll see here the car, the public safety vehicle you all approved a few months back. We
That
finally
looks
paid it.
nice.
It looks good, and it's very representative of
Yeah.
police, so it's really helping engage our residents and our speeders. So that's
Yeah,
a good
I
thing.
put on my brakes real quick.
There you go. So that's good.
Would be nice if we could pull over some speeders every once in a while. Just
That
to
would be
give them a
nice.
warning.
Watch it.
So in my meeting with the sheriff, and he'll mention it next month, we are starting to take advantage of his ability to send more sheriffs here on a recurring basis, just to do speed enforcement, but under our control. So starting next week, I think there'll be more of a sheriff presence. They'll report into us for 16 hours every week. They'll report into my security. Our security will give them our hot spots based on our speed machine, and you'll see sheriff coverage that'll be more aggressive on speed enforcement.
Good.
So that'll be a benefit.
We're not paying any extra for this.
You do have to pay, yes, sir. Yeah.
Huh?
You do have
Yeah,
to
you
pay.
do.
Yep.
We're gonna pay extra
Yeah,
for,
we bake it, we have
When
it
did
in our
we decide
contractor
this?
pay. Once I get the number for the totality, I'll present it, but right now it's part of our contractors that we pay in our security department. Yep.
Okay.
Is one of the hot spots Sun Lake Boulevard?
Sun Lake Boulevard, Ponce, Columbus, Cortez, Ortega, yeah, the usual. Yep. We do have some streets, San Bruno, San Benito, that there's recurring speeders. So they'll get out and about everywhere. They won't just sit 8 hours at one spot. So. It was asked by Mr. Gilpin about some of the meetings we have. So you got your golf updates here. We have a pedestrian safety group. This was after that lady got killed on Ponce 2 years ago almost now. Some members from Manor Hill, that where she lived, formed and helped us form a district pedestrian safety group. So they do door knocking, they make awareness of how to be safe walking, make sure you wear colorful clothes, have lights. We haven't really met with them, just be aware that every 6 months or so, there's a large portion of them that are Canadian, so it's the Northerners that come down. We have a meeting with them, Jamal meets, and we kind of get them to get the word out on pedestrian safety. That includes biking and so on. We have our 250th. You see here, we talked about it. We've had 3 meetings. The next one's 18 March. And here's my picture. So here's your bandstand. So in that vicinity of the green space, area where there's flags, that's where I kind of use the term Veterans Memorial, but it's really just the flag representation. All the services, POW, MIA, so on and so forth. So that'll be along the back of the lake. And the version of our very simplistic bandstand is what you see there. A raised surface, open air, has a cover, and that'll be for events since we're going to lose the ability to use our one behind here.
And are those tables going to be put there?
They're just movable picnic tables. We'll just have
Okay.
tables like that.
So
Yes, ma'am.
the golf carts can. still
Golf
go
carts will
there.
be able to come right up to it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, these are just examples. It's not the final. Our engineer is working on schematics of what this is. And right now we're getting donations to pay for that. Once we firm the spot, I'll mark it, walk out there with some of y'all, and you'll understand this is where we're going to do it. But that basically gives us our green space for golf carts, for pedestrians, for people bringing lawn chairs. Very similar to like our last Music in the Park, just a great area to meet, gather. And separate from our pool, separate from our pickleball, is just a great green space to meet with a nice backdrop of our lake and
Excuse me,
everything.
Buzz. Are we going to recognize the people that are making these donations? In other words, with a placard or something like that? Like this grandstand presented by, donated by, or anything like that?
Once I get the 2 main vendors for this,
Right.
yes, they will. We'll present that, and you'll say, hey, the VFW gave us $5,000, and the Veterans of Sun and Lake gave us $5,000, whatever. We'll do that. For the other sponsors, part of the 250th in messaging, in marketing, in banners, they're going to get representation throughout that day. The only one we're leaning towards a list of all the sponsors is near the mural. There'll be a total list of all the sponsors for that day tied to the mural. Be a simplistic, it won't be a massive like bronze plaque, but it'll be something that recognizes them for contributing to the day, basically. So we will take care of that at different levels. Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that affect the disc golf?
The course runs through it. Yes, sir. Yeah. There's one lane we have to move, but the disc golf guys that put it in for us said they can adjust that, so it's not going to stop it. But we do have our Doge team. We wrapped it up last week, so this is the initiative I brought to you all months ago, back in September, where we did our internal Doge across our departments. Had some citizens in there, had some staff members. So a staff member that was not part of the department was the part of the evaluation team on another department. So they didn't have any knowledge of finance, but they helped look at the numbers and ask critical questions. We did that for all our departments, and right now, consolidating the final report, just got that back from the teams. My observation at the bottom is all is well. There was no finding of anything odd, spending weird, or anything like that. They did identify some processes that we need to use, and we were aware of most of them, that we need to work towards with SOPs and stuff like that, and that's the whole process of it. But I'm very comfortable with their feedback, and this was just other people's eyes on how we do business. So that was a good model to use. The intent is once I provide you guys the final, this is the evaluation, and this is what we found and what we wanted to correct. I would offer we would like to send that to the state of Florida. We are putting ourselves at, we've done it. You didn't tell us to do it, but we've done it, and we're good. Thank you very much. It'll show full transparency. and maybe good old Ignolia will show up down here and do a press conference. And we'll say, thank you very much for coming. But I think that is something that a lot of citizens, a lot of communities are pushing back on this. And I think there's nothing wrong with being transparent.
We need to step forward and be the leader.
I agree 100%.
I agree.
Do you
So,
see
so
this
is
as being a
this-
reoccurring event?
it's something into our SOPs in the departments, we're going to do some form of evaluation. I don't see this more than every 5 years or so that there's a holistic review.
But even that's a good thing.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all I got. Subject to any questions. I know there's a lot there. I apologize.
I have a question.
Go ahead, babe.
Jimmy, do you have an ETA on the greens on deer?
So I know a lot of people, we've been out, watched them. I know some people have seen the movement that we've had in them. Last week, we were actually moving in the right direction, but we did have probably one of the heaviest frosts that we had through the freezes. So it did set it back a little bit. This morning, we top dressed last week. We solid tined them to get some more air to them, trying to get the soil temperatures up. I mean, I'm going to, as long as we get our 80-degree days and our 60-degree nights, the Bermuda's moving. It was moving last week. We started actually getting more grass clippings, yielding more grass clippings in them. And, you know, the biggest thing is that I tried to give Boz as detailed a report as I could this month, trying to explain. And I believe we're going to share that, Boz, or we have shared that. And a lot of it was questioned about why it happened. You know, we were good in the summertime when we were actively growing. You know, I didn't make up the pH. There's nothing, you know, I know some people say somebody's got to be held accountable. The only thing we can do going forward is do our soil samples more regularly. Again, those are, anybody's welcome to come to my office and look at those. We try to share them. The pH has got up in the soils. We didn't get our acid injection up until November 16th. And of course, at that point, we can correct the soil, but you know, our active growing season was dwindling. We went through 2 of the coldest freezes that we've had probably since I've been here. I'm sure we see all the foliage and everything. I'm sure some folks are just now starting to cut their yards. So I don't know how we can expect for our growth to grow, our greens to recover until that soil temperature and everything gets right. I walk them every day. I mean, I see growth. I walked on them again yesterday morning. It's just something that we try to monitor. Every time we start moving, we were getting hit with the cold. I know that a lot of it sees like it's not growing, but another week, 2 weeks, I think we're going to be able to notice the growth. The greens will slow down. They'll start filling in. And that's why we're top dressing. That's why we're needle tining. And we're trying to do everything we can without affecting play. You know, it's important that we maintain our tee sheets and get going. Turtle run's getting to that point where the overseed's getting slower. We're going to start that transition period. I double cut them this morning and brushed them this morning. And that's to start getting daylight to the Bermuda. There is a con to overseeding, and we talk about it all the time. You know, the overseed is going to check out. Same thing with tee boxes. They'll start checking out. We're just going to try to transition them as smooth as we can. I will monitor through the summer. I'll share with you guys through the summer of all of our soil samples, our tissue samples, nematode samples, and you know, like I said, we're on a very aggressive fungicide program, and it's happening every 2 weeks now. It's a totally different program than probably anything that's ever been ran here.
Is that what we just spent the 50,000 on, Jim? That
excuse me, sir.
Fertilizers, 50,000 was just spent on fertilizers. Was it?
So the 50,000 is just on fungicides. That's your greens program going through starting. You know, I'll be happy to share it with you. But it's a every 2 week program. It's a soil fungicide that's going to get our soil, our root diseases. And then 2 weeks after that, we're doing a foliar that's going to get all your dollar spots and get all your stuff on top of it.
So I played turtle twice this weekend, and I noticed that there's quite a few bad spots now that like we had on that we do have on deer, bare spots. It looks like a black fungus. Is that something that's going to be addressed as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, and really, I hope you all support me when I do this. So our saving grace last year was that we aerified them as much as we did. I've told Boz, Mike, everybody, we're going to be shut down for that full 2 weeks because I'm going to go with the big quarantine again. And we can't, you get them to a point where they're really good and then you overseed them. So the transition, it's time to aerify them. It's time to
It
do
is.
everything that we're trying to do to them. But we've got probably another month that then we can get aggressive with what we're going to do. Over the next few weeks, you'll start seeing me slice the compacted areas with the slicers, try to get as much done as I can. After the men's member guest and our goodbye tournament, then I'm going to start really getting after it. But I am going to be aggressive on turtle to try to change that profile on that soil again. And again, if I got to go out there and hand hit those spots or plug those spots on turtle to make sure we make it to May, then that's what we're going to do. We plugged a little bit on Deer Run yesterday. I think what I did last week didn't really affect too much play with the solid tining. I think it was a pretty quick recovery on that. And so we'll continue to do that. I do have my aerification dates available. We're going to share all that with you all, send that out. We went through it with Jason and Mike. Everything, basically our dates will be available for you all to know when we are closing. But, I have faith. Like I promised you, I never dealt with what I've dealt with as far as this pH and this water and stuff. And we just got to monitor it closer, and we will monitor it. And pretty much, like I said, it's a soil, water, and disease sample every 90 days. So that's going to help us stay on top of it.
I think too, I think it's important that we have somebody out there policing the cart riders that are on the, I've seen them. I can't say anything to them. I would like to say something to them, but they shouldn't be parking right on the edge of the green.
No, sir, I agree. And, Boz is, like I said, just support us when we bring it to you, because in the past, we've tried to deal with some of that. And, Boz is a firm believer. We all see it. And, you got to try to say something to them. They're pretty combative. And that's all we ask is for when we take it to Boz and Boz gets it and you guys support us. And
I would recommend, honestly, they have more rangers out on the golf course.
yes, sir.
That would help promote that,
Oh, in the past, Mark, the Rangers
Didn't do
I mean,
anything.
you gotta enforce it.
That's right. No, I agree, Mike.
And we don't enforce it. I mean, the last thing we do is, we should, but so I guess if we're gonna have a ranger, let's enforce it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Nematodes on turtle. Have you got all the stuff, the gas and stuff that you need to take care of those?
Yes, so we do have those applications. We're going to do 2 applications. They'll be done when I'm closed.
Okay.
So we've actually done pretty good on the nematodes over the last couple of years, getting
They're
them
a
under
lot better,
control.
yeah.
Like I said, the acids affecting the tees and the fairways, everything else. Our turf, when we're growing, is probably as healthy as it's been in a long time, especially fairways.
And overseeding is just going to be what it's going to be.
I'm going to try to make it as smooth as possible. We're going to try to melt it out. I'm not going to do it like I did last year. I double punched them, I think, at the beginning of May, and it was pretty sudden. And again, we reap the benefit at the end of the season versus the beginning of the season. This season, I'm going to try to let it just melt out like it's supposed to and keep the light to the Bermuda. I had a question about the chip and green, why it looked like it did. The seed didn't take on that particular green like it should have. It's an anomaly. So we're going to brush those greens. I double brushed them this morning, and really all I'm doing is feathering that grass, standing it up, and trying to get it lowered cut where we can get more light to that Bermuda. So my goal is to try to get that it's not Poania, it's Poa trivialis. It's a rough stock bluegrass that we put on there, but we are going to brush them every single week now. Double brush them, double cut them, trying to get that Bermuda to take off on turtle.
It looks like there's like a weed or something that's growing within.
It's actually, that's a Poa trivialis plant. That's what they actually look like.
Yeah.
So the thing is the germination on that green for some reason did not take like it should have.
And we can get rid of that? Is that
Yes,
what
sir.
you're
It's going to go away as soon as we keep brushing, and as soon as it gets hot enough, the overseed it's too hot for it down here.
Okay.
So it'll check out.
Okay.
Okay. Jimmy.
Yes, ma'am.
My old club in Orlando, Rio Pinar Country Club,
Yes.
has put a night driving range in with the, what we talked about before.
The top tracer. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And it is a huge success. That golf course, which Arnold Palmer helped design,
Yes.
which we have held many professional tournaments at, was dying. And
Yes.
this is absolutely reviving that golf course and all the homes that are around it.
My friend's the superintendent there, and he's,
It's amazing.
they have more money now than they've
They-
ever had to operate that golf course.
Why can't we do that at our range? Fill in that.
We have it. It's, I mean, Boz has it, we have it. I think it's just a matter of how we prioritize things for the future. I mean, we all at this table want it. It's just a matter of,
Well, I
mean-
think we need to bring that to the public because I know it's the golf course and a lot of people don't do the golf course, but it's not that. It's a date night for
it
people
is.
that don't even play golf. They go out there, they have wine and, I mean, it's amazing.
Hey, just for the record, Boz took his kids to one a couple of months ago and they enjoyed it.
And they had a
so.
ball, didn't they? It's amazing. It's
I'm a
for
lot
people
poorer
from
for it, but
three
what did that
years
cost you,
old to
Buzz?
20.
So it's there. I mean, if you guys would like, if Boz wants to bring it to the table and let you all see it, we have it designed. It's
I mean,
already there.
We're always looking for revenue and for ways to make money. And I think that is just a golden opportunity because we have it right there.
The ROI is probably less than 12 months on that.
It's just amazing to me.
You know, on the same note, Beverly, I agree with you. My wife and I were talking about the other day. But we also might want to consider some sort of professional mini golf kind of deal. Mini golf course where, like a putt-putt type course. That's a very successful venture as well. If we could, that'll bring a lot of people here to do something like that.
I would like to, I know about Rio because I still have a house there. Is there any way that you can get the numbers that has done and bring this to the board? Because it's just,
Yes,
it's
we
just
can get them.
amazing.
Troon's building them almost every golf course. Every renovation we do, Troon's putting them in now. Dub's Dread in Orlando, they did a double decker. And it's probably bringing in a profit of about $1.5 million, $2 million a year just up there.
Well, the house was worth 325. It's now worth 440.
Yes.
And those are figures. I'm not
And
making this
the
up.
beauty of it is nobody has anything to do here in Highlands County. So I think it'll be a big hit.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Huge success.
So, I mean, Boz is the one that'll bring it to you. We'll probably have to go through. We kicked it around a couple of years ago when Boz first got here. I know that we've had our priorities on other things. We got a big road ahead of us to hoe as far as drainage goes in this community. And, you know, it's, we've been working hard to try to make it better. There's definitely a lot of stuff we got to fix. And I'm with you guys. If we have a revenue coming in, we can use that money everywhere.
Everywhere.
It doesn't only have to go to golf.
Exactly.
So that's up to you all. I mean,
We're
I'm not
willing
going to
to
step
share
on
that,
Boz's
you know.
toes. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
just- I don't see.
You'll see it in April.
Yeah,
At
that's
at our
okay.
first budget meeting,
Yeah.
you'll see a presentation.
We'll see a presentation
In April, yes, ma'am. We're putting that on the table for you.
Thank you.
I have some questions. The only one for the golf.
Thank
And
you.
that's 2 in a cart. I'm trying to find my pictures. I go to other golf courses and there's signs. And Boz mentioned it. I mean, we need to do something about making people 2 in a cart. And the other golf courses are very explicit about this. If you don't put 2 in a cart, you don't play here.
Oh,
So do you need the board to get, I mean, we've talked about it for 4 years.
I'm not doing that.
That you guys don't think we should have 3 carts running around or 4. I mean, do we need to do something about this or just keep it going the way it is?
We brought it up at the golf meeting discussion. We continue to chat about there. I'm a firm believer is when you have rules, they get enforced, but don't make a rule that you can't enforce. So I want some further discussion from the golfers on this topic because I think there's a very small group that that impacts, that are very adamant about one per cart, but the majority are fine with two. And we just need to come to an understanding because, yes, that will mean rangers, that will mean enforcement, that'll mean penalty. We're gonna have to figure all
Yeah.
that out because if we don't, then it'll just be right back in our
Well,
face saying, what are
I'd
you
like
doing?
one way or the other. I
Yes,
mean,
sir. Yeah.
I don't care
So-
what it is, but we can have a rule
I
and
got you.
then just have people ignore it.
So we're working it this month and I'll advise, where we stand on it and how we're gonna enforce it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
A couple other questions is, on the lawsuit, Janice or Boz, could you keep, at least me, I don't know if the rest of the supervisors want it, but I'd like to know so far how much we've spent. Okay, and could you do that anytime that there's a, draw from your company that we know how much it's costing us?
Yeah, we'll
Is
take
that,
that.
is that available?
Yeah,
Can I do that?
Coral can get those numbers.
Okay.
We'll send that to you. Yes,
Could
sir.
you do that, Cora, please?
I think it should be sent to all the boards.
All
so-
of, all
Sure,
the
yeah, no, we will.
supervisors.
Yeah, I'd like, I think all of us should get it, but I
We'll get
didn't
it.
know if.
We'll do it as soon as we're done here.
And Janice, if I could see you after the meeting, I'm going over the policy and stuff, and I have a few questions. Am I allowed to ask you some of the questions on here?
It should be a board discussion, shouldn't it? I mean,
I think that, maybe some of the other board members have some comments about the policy, so maybe I recommend we have a
Well,
workshop,
I don't want you to change them. I'm just asking you questions.
how they're applied.
Hmm?
How they're applied.
No, just,
Yeah.
there's just some questions on, if they're on there. I don't want, I would not even come close to asking you to change something without the board approval.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, absolutely. A board, you're all in approval of just me having a separate conversation? with-
No, but if
No.
you deem it afterwards that we should have a workshop because of that conversation,
Then.
I mean,
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
written some notes on mine that my
Yeah.
copy
Yeah,
too, so.
Workshop
I'm
would
only
be great.
halfway through. I'm gonna have a lot.
Well,
But-
you know what? Why don't we kind of put a pin in this discussion? We'll schedule a workshop so everybody can go through
Agreed.
and, really mark up the areas
Yeah.
that they think, need to be changed. Because when I first started, that was an initiative that Buzz had mentioned to me that they want to do a full scale, review of the policies. So perhaps I
Yeah,
think you're
But I believe though, as supervisors, we have a right to ask a question
Oh,
and we're
sure.
not directing you,
No, just
uh,
clarification as to how it's applied.
Okay.
I
Okay, we
guess.
need to schedule a workshop.
Yeah, just look at
then.
your calendar, send me some dates and then we'll synchronize
Okay.
it all.
Okay.
Yep.
But I'll see you after the
Sure.
meeting and say, I think that's all I had for Boz.
comment.
So I had, before we go to public comment, I have a compliment and a concern of the restaurant. Friday night, I called at 10 till 6. Because honestly, I wasn't sure if you guys were open or not. There wasn't no Facebook post that day. You were open, but I was told don't come now, come in an hour. And it was like, I didn't like that response, just to be honest. Saturday night, I went over there at 6 with 4 people, no reservation, got right in. I noticed another group of pickleball players who were down for the day at a tournament, 17 people. And I asked them if they got a reservation. They said, nope, we're seated in 5 minutes. So big hats off for that one.
Something good about the restaurant. Yeah.
Public comment?
Sorry to come up so many times. Just one more comment about when Mike brought up the two-door cart. I was coming back from a doctor's appointment a couple days ago, well, maybe last Friday. I came down to number 10T. There were 4 golf carts on the tee, 4 people. In the fairway up to the green, there were also 4 golf carts, 4 people. I would suggest at least you could do during the peak season like now. There's a starter out there most of the time. Because my wife and I played Sunday even at like 12:30, and the starter was still on deer. I mean, and he is a volunteer or a employee or whatever of Sun and Lake, correct? He has some authority to check you in. Why not, if somebody shows up there in a single cart or whatever, 3 carts or 4 carts. Why does he not at that point in time say, hey, you cannot play unless you go to a cart? I know it's hard to enforce, but it is rampant that people don't follow this. But it shouldn't be their rule. If it's the Sun and Lake rule, enforce it. But in the wintertime, we could enforce that when the starter's there. And why, have him say, hey, you can't go out in the golf course, because who knows what they tell the fellows in the pro shop, as far as their members or whoever. But one way you could control it when there's a starter there, just don't let them proceed until they go out to a cart. And
Were they private carts or were they club carts?
both, Mark. I mean, I've seen most of the violators I see are members. I mean, and I'm a member, and like I say, I had lymphoma. I didn't play. I took a leave from the golf course for 4 months, and I support this place, but I was shocked at the greens when I started playing again. And like I said, I don't know who's responsible, but I don't know why we put those greens in. We didn't know about this pH problem before we spent all that money.
No.
And basically now, like, one of my questions is, do we really have new greens now on deer? I mean, with no grass on them.
All right, we got to move on.
I mean, they're not,
They're
not puttable greens. I mean, they're not.
Yeah.
I moved here 10 years
No, I
ago,
don't.
and acquaintance of mine had the timeshare in Orlando, and I would bring him down here to play. This is back in 15, 16, maybe 17. And he played a lot of nice courses in Orlando. He said we had the best greens of any place in Central Florida. He came here and looked forward to coming here. Now, I mean, I don't want to get on anybody's case, but last year we paid 10% more. I didn't even bring this up earlier for our membership. And look at what we ended up with. I mean, the people are going to expect something to be better. I mean, this has been going on deer for 4 or 5 years at least. And people are starting to see there's no end in sight. And I know you're doing everything you can, but when you deal with it on an everyday basis and nothing changes from year to year, we were told to expect these were going to be great greens. And they were. And I'm not pushing anything on you. But I mean, we were told to expect that, and then a lot of people.
That's 3 minutes.
I was here at that meeting when I was all for putting the new greens in. I was here. And I
Your
didn't pay,
3-minute time frame is up,
well,
sir.
whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, my point is something needs to be done
Okay, thank you.
for the members. That's all.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, we got one more.
You can adjourn.
Got one more.
Oh, okay.
Can we get
I'm not
name
trying
and
to dis-
address, please? Can we get your name and address?
Yes, Stephen Seward. Oh, you want Dan's address? Yep. This is Steve Seward, 3701 Edgewater Drive. I'm not trying to compete with Dan for talking the most today, but my point is on the 2-cart rule, there needs to be some exceptions. We don't want to be too officious on this whole item. Many people have carts with 10-inch wheels. I personally can't step up that high. Now, I'm not advocating to always go in my cart. I can't even play this year, I'm handicapped, but I'll play next year. And the point is, there's people that are handicapped, they can't get into a 10-inch wheel. And it's difficult, it's embarrassing when you say, well, I don't want to go with you because you have too big of wheels. So there are exceptions. We need to realize that we don't want to be too no on everything, but just
I agree.
try to be flexible.
Or that we are.
And with that, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.